Welcome to the Australian Open.
Oh, that's a beauty. Oh, what an athlete!
All right, welcome back to the Canadian tennis stream. We are here earlier than we thought we'd be because Leylah Annie Fernandez unfortunately took the loss against a wildcard Australian and didn't really play her best at all. But now we've got Felix Auger-Aliassime taking on Emil Ruusuvuori from Finland in a very interesting first-round matchup. Not a super easy first-round matchup for Felix, and it's actually already underway. Here, we've got our stat board, and we're going to get talking a little bit about the matchup here that we got. Super exciting start for Felix after the ATP Cup win that he helped lead Canada to. And thanks for being here, guys. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the slice. Emil Ruusuvuori serving up first. And what do we got to break down here? These, first things first. Thanks for guys for being here. The slice's coverage of the Australian Open is brought to you by our friends at Top Court. Top Court, the sponsor of this year's Australian Open for the slice. And I will be posting a link where you can get a 14-day free trial of Top Court for you to increase your tennis skills. So yeah, Felix and Ruusuvuori already going into it. This is an exciting matchup for many reasons, because Felix is young, obviously, player that people have been talking about for many years, but lesser known, but still extremely good. Ruusuvuori is also extremely dangerous from Finland. He's not quite as young he's 22, where Felix is 21. And he's got a serious game as well. So this is not, if you don't know who Ruusuvuori is, this is not a super easy first round for Felix by any means a stretch of the imagination. 30 all in the first game here with, like I said, Ruusuvuori serving to start. Welcome guys to the stream. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a good match. Felix is wearing the Adidas outfit. Obviously, this is his main sponsor is Adidas, and it came under some criticism. People were saying that the Adidas outfit was looking whack, that it was not sweet. And I don't know, he looks pretty good, I think, in this getup. The way they have it set out here, it looks better on court maybe than it did on pictures beforehand. King Adjust is here. Welcome, brother. Welcome, Nikhil, back from yesterday. My guy. Love to see it. And Ruusuvuori takes the first game. Holds. Looking good for Ruusuvuori here. How you guys doing? If you guys are tuned into this Canadian watch-along stream, Canadian tennis stream, let me know where you're watching from, and that is always cool. So now we got Felix coming out to serve. In the matchup here, if we're looking at weapons, comparing them between the two players, I would say Felix has definitely probably got the bigger weapons. Bigger forehand, bigger serve, but it's not. But Ruusuvuori is kind of similar to another more well-known young guy, Jannik Sinner, I would say, from the ground, from the baseline. He can really get a lot of pop on both wings, and he's very solid from the baseline. Doesn't tend to make a ton of mistakes, so Felix is, he's just going to have to play a great match. We will see how Felix can play coming off that ATP Cup win. Obviously, we saw Denis Shapovalov. We did the stream. We did the watch along last night. Denis played not his best, got himself into some trouble. but he was able to get through it in about 3.5 hours. So quite a long match. We will see if it can be smoother sailing for Felix tonight. Not promised to be by any stretch of the imagination. Like I've said, Ruusuvuori, tough Finnish customer. These guys in a savage rally to start off Felix's service game. Gets that first point. Big long rally there. Won by Felix. I've got a little button for Felix, a little clip. I think you guys are going to like when I see him do something sweet. He gave this stanky look when he made a really amazing drop volley at the during the ATP Cup doubles match against Russia. So I'll show you guys that whenever he does something of equal gratitude here. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Canadian Tennis Stream. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like the video. Our goal, as it was yesterday, was 100 likes. We didn't quite get there, but we had a really good chance. We had a really good effort, I'd say. So let's see if we can do it today. Felix serving. Yeah, I'd say looking pretty clean. I like that. I do like that Adidas top. With the white shorts, it looks good, I think. People were not sure. I'll tell you that. Felix cruising through his first service game. We got Dominic Federer coming in from Seattle. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in again. Second night in a row. You were here last night, weren't you? Looks now 40 love, looking to close this out. Big second serve. Drops over the net for Emil Ruusuvuori. Puts the hand up, but we all know what that means. It's like, yeah, sorry about that. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Yeah, folks. Tonight I'm watching this match on TSN, the Canadian tennis home tennis. So if you want to sync up with me, that's what you got to watch it on, or else we'll probably be delayed from any of the betting streaming services. So that's just how it's going to be tonight. Felix with the double fault there. Got Mark Johnston back in the stream. Glad to have a Canadian tennis stream. Glad to have you in the stream. And yes, Fernandez just lost. Very sad. Yeah, let's get our thoughts. My thoughts on the Fernandez loss. So it's the classic thing we've seen with many players. You know, they have a great run of success, get to a major final or win a major, something like that. And then they got now all this newfound pressure on them. And this is just the exact case for Leila Annie. She makes it to the final of the U.S. Open. Her brand, her name gets so much bigger. She just announces these big brand deals right before the Australian Open, coming here with Lululemon, Gatorade, Google, and then comes in, and then she's got this pressure on her. And then Madison Inglis, the Australian wild card, doesn't have anywhere near as much pressure. And, you know, she's a good player. I think she was ranked 120, but she played a lot higher than that. I think she got balls super deep the whole match. She hit a lot of lines, and Leila really just didn't have it the whole time. And she looked rushed. She looked uncomfortable. She, just didn't look settled. It was not great for Layla. So that was not good. And it's a bit hard to take. She probably feels a little bit embarrassed, but she's incredibly young. Got to remember that. I don't think Layla's 20 yet. Let me just confirm that. She's 19 years old. 19 years old, folks. So that's just how it goes. That is just how it goes, unfortunately. But she'll be back, of course. And I was hoping to get, obviously, a stream watching her play, but I didn't, because I did this one tonight because I felt like this was going to be a closer match, Ruusuvuori versus AUGER-ALIASSIME. And turns out it probably will, because Layla actually did kind of get routed by Inglis. It really wasn't a very good match. But moving on to now the other three, we still got 3 Canadians in the singles draw. Felix, who is in this match right now. We got Shapovalov, who's into round 2. And I got Rebecca Marino, who's playing later on tonight to try and make it through to the second round after she's qualified for the main draw. So that's great for her. Might have a guest joining us here, another tennis YouTuber with a great eye for everything tennis. Right now, Felix 15-15, 15 all. Rolling some big strokes in there, forehand, looking really good. Yeah, so people talk about Felix's lack of wins, tournament wins, after he's been in 8 finals, lost all 8 of them without winning a set. But he just led Canada to the ATP Cup win, where he played great, beat Roberto Bautista Agut, playing some really, really good tennis. So that won't count as a singles title, obviously, but I think that was a great sign from where his mentality is going towards, where his game's at. And his game just looked incredible in that match specifically. Just both wings flying. We're gonna have a guest here join us, and we're gonna break down a bit of the look of Felix's strokes, forehand, backhand technique, what's changed over the years. We're gonna discuss that a little bit, and that'll be good. Ruusuvuori serving now, game point to go up 2-1. Gonna have some beverages flowing tonight, folks. It's hopefully not gonna be too late of a night. Got to deuce now. Felix got his teeth into this service game on Ruusuvuori. Roos. The Roos. Maybe I'll just call him the Roos. I don't know. But stats so far, both guys not really hitting winners, staying on the baseline, staying conservative, and missing. Both of them getting their first serves in a lot, but that's right, King Adjust. The Canadian tennis stream fueled by maple syrup. Not really. No one here actually drinks maple syrup. That's a total Canadian tennis gimmick. Have it on our pancakes though, but does anyone else, like, do you guys not have maple syrup on pancakes wherever you're from? I think that's fairly universal. Or is it not? Let me know. Oh, we got an early break point here for AUGER-ALIASSIME. after a backhand down the line miss from Ruusuvuori. Ruusuvuori saves the break point. Felix is, the commentators are saying how windy it's looking out there on the 1564 or whatever arena it's called. Looks pretty windy. Not sure. I did see Felix play not a great match. I think it was at the Rogers Cup or the National Bank Open presented by Rogers in Toronto this year. He played not a great match against Dusan Lajovic. I think when it was windy, he started missing a lot. Then he didn't seem like he had a second gear to drop down into, and he ended up losing that match, and it was pretty disappointing for him. Kind of a sloppy start to this match, maybe caused by the wind. 9 unforced errors by Ruusuvuori, 4 by Felix already. 8-4. It's kind of insane. Ruusuvuori's made 100% of his first serve so far, 15 for 15. Big rally now, just backhand to inside out forehand, and long from AUGER-ALIASSIME doesn't get the break. Deuce number 3 now. Ruusuvuori still hasn't missed the first serve. It's incredible. Incredible. King of Justice saying, I eat maple syrup almost every morning with my sausage and eggs, also on my pancakes. Every morning you get that breakfast? That's what do you have, a personal chef? Sounds awesome. Mark Johnson says, ants got in my maple syrup. It was gross. That does sound very gross. 420 Benton says, will FAFAA ever win a tournament? I would take out, if this was real, if I was not joking, I would take out all the money I have and bet you whatever the stakes you wanted that Felix will win a tournament. He just won the ATP Cup with Canada in an epic fashion. That's amazing if you think about it. Canada just won the 3rd ever ATP Cup. You know, like in 50 years, the ATP Cup might be like one of the premier events. I think it is, like, you know, when Djokovic was playing, when Nadal was in it, had a bit more glam and slam, and it's kind of new and it's kind of weird right now. Like, we get that, but pretty amazing for little old Canada come out and win that ATP Cup. Ruusuvuori slams it away and continues on in this almost 8-minute third game of the first set here. All right, I'm about to bring in a special guest, another fellow tennis YouTuber, one of the OGs, I would say, of the tennis YouTube space, Gil Gross. Everybody do a little tennis clap for him as he comes in. Hey, Gil.
What's up? How are you?
Dude, I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining the stream.
I'm an OG? I'm that old?
You're an OG. I don't know. I would say you're one of the tennis YouTuber OGs, wouldn't you? I feel like you were.
I guess so.
Around when I started, you were around, and then I feel like we've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I think it's been 4 years, I would say, if I were to put a number on it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess that is. I would like to think we're like in like the 26, 27 years old range of our careers. Like, I don't think we're.
Yes.
But who started? Like, who was here first? You think it was
like me or you?
I guess. Yeah, I guess it was. I guess it was me, you, and Matt at Coffee Break Tennis. Is that
That's
the
right.
OG? Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. And
And
then a
then
guy, Tennis Talker, right?
Tennis Talk came in for a while. Don't think he kept up.
No.
And then yes, a bunch of other people have started, right?
Right.
Makes us feel old, even though, yeah, like you said, we are. I do feel like I'm hopefully in the what's it called, the genesis of my career, as
Right.
you probably are as well. But yeah, welcome to the what we're calling the Canadian tennis stream. Did run a successful one with Shapovalov last night. That was a more interesting match than I expected it to be. Did you catch any of that?
A little bit, but not much. I was following along. I think that was early in the day, right?
Yeah, it was 11 a.m. Melbourne time start time.
Right. So I was in transit. I got a late start on my Aussie Open viewing, doing a little bit of traveling back over here. So
Okay.
I missed most of it, but I did see that it was a bit of a struggle at times. Good close match, and Dennis got through.
Yeah. Well, as you know, Jerry's he's a good player. So he's
Yeah.
and he's kind of, he looks smaller than he is. I feel like when they shook hands at the net, he was a good inch or two taller than Shapovalov, and Shapovalov's not. I think he's like 6'1" ish. And yeah, he was really hitting good serves, played a good match,
Yep.
and Shapovalov, he only served like 50% first serves in. So I think that's why he had kind of harder time breaking away, because he just wasn't able to rely on that. But yeah, obviously Shapo was happy to get through. I think at the end he said, my first rounds here are always like super long, and yeah, 3.5 hours it's a solid match.
Yeah, Jera is a great athlete. He's got a ton of power. I think that helps him a lot on the clay, and his hard court results, I've always been a little bit puzzled why they're not better, because he does bomb his serve, as we saw yesterday, and he's got plenty of offense that comes off his racket, but strangely his results are very much clay court oriented, if you look at it. So
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, another one of those, the Serbian brothers in the draw is weird. I watched, this is totally off topic from the Canadian tennis stream, but I watched, who was it? Schwartzman beat Krajinovic today. Krajinovic looked like he almost looked like disinterested in the match, even though he had serious chances to get back in it. I just wonder how the whole Djokovic debacle is kind of affecting other Serbians, because I can't imagine it sitting well. I mean, we don't have to talk about Djokovic.
right,
Sure.
sure.
Endlessly, but I've just noticed that, and I kind of felt bad. I felt bad for them, because honestly, it's no one's happy about this.
Yeah, I mean, Kecmanovic won his first round, and
good.
Lajovic surprisingly won. I forget who he beat, but I remember I was slightly shocked at the result. Let me pull that up real quick. Oh, he beat
Yeah, for sure.
Fucevich, who's
Oh, yeah,
always
that's a good win.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they're saying that they're kind of playing for Novak. So,
Interesting.
Krajinovic is a case that obviously it went the other way in terms of the result, and he's one of the least expressive guys, I'd say, on tour. I've never really seen him get fired up.
Yeah.
Also a tough matchup for him, because Krajinovic tries to win by pretty much not missing, being consistent, and Schwartzman's going to do that better than pretty much anyone.
Yeah, for sure. Did you see the end of that match?
I saw Schwartzman was cramping, but I wasn't actually watching it.
Yeah, I just saw the end, because I had Layla Annie, who I was watching after that, on the same court. Same court, and then this match. And it was weird. It almost didn't look like a proper cramp. It might have been, but it looked like like a weird pull, or a seize. I mean, a seize up, that maybe that is a cramp. But yeah, it was interesting, and I was like, oh man, because it looked like it was about to be a routine kind of 3-set, and then I was like, this could be a classic where it goes 2 sets the other way, and then Schwartzman comes back and wins it, and we could be here 5 hours. But luckily for my sleep schedule tonight, unless this goes 5 hours, he got out of the court in 3. But yeah, we haven't chatted. I don't even know if we've ever like really done much together, like on our channels. Like, I know we've talked on other people's shows. Maybe I had you on before. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think this is a first. And again, yeah, we've talked offline, and we message each other a good amount, and we've been on other channels, but yeah, this is a first.
Yeah, we're both kind of just in general solo lone wolves, solo rangers on our individual channels. But just a question. I haven't had anyone else on this. Can you hear the TV in the background from my side?
I cannot.
Okay, that's probably good for copyright. I don't know how that all works, but Felix Auger-Aliassime. So he's FAA. He's like the gold. He was like the golden child of tennis for a long time there until maybe like Alcaraz came around. I don't know, but big time result I thought, and for Canadians in general, at the ATP Cup with him and Chapeau leading us to glory. So I'd love to get your thoughts on kind of where you see his games at, especially kind of in that. Felt like that RBA match was pretty good in the ATP Cup. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, no, I was locked in on pretty much every ATP Cup match that Canada played. So I saw a lot of that, and I thought it was such a massive result for both Felix and Chapo, but I'd say even more so Felix. And since this is the Canadian tennis stream, I gotta drop this this stat.
Yeah.
Are you aware? And this is hard to hear. I want you to brace yourself. Canadian men had lost, or I guess have, since ATP Cup is a team event, have lost 20 of its last 21 ATP finals.
Oh,
and that is
20 of its last 21.
20 of its last 21, and that is between Milos Raonic, who is like on an 0 for 5 streak or something along those lines, Vasek Pospisil, who's 0 for 2, Felix, who's famously 0 for 8, and then Dennis, who I think is 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 since he won Stockholm a couple years back.
Right.
It has been just this brutal stretch, and you kind of felt like for Felix playing in that second match with a chance to clinch, you knew it wasn't going to go on that 0-8 record officially.
Right.
But it certainly felt like a final. I thought it felt like a final, and he played incredibly well against someone who was 4-0 in ATP Cup, who gives you absolutely nothing, a total gamer in RBA. And I mean, Felix, we can get into the technical stuff shortly, but I think just mentally and handling the pressure, it was another example that he is improving and getting better at just being in that high pressure situation and maintaining his level instead of faltering.
Absolutely. I thought it was a relieving sign for me to see him improve in that area, because there was times in that match where it was like you said, it was like a final. So you get nervous in a final. I think everyone does, but he was able to kind of let go of that. And there was some certain points, it's been a while now, I can't remember exactly when, but there's some certain points where he just really amped up his level. And I think he just played, I would say his top level is a bit higher than RBA's is, just talent wise and game wise. And he really went to that level in the times that mattered. I think he was like, maybe I think he was down a break in the second set. I'm not sure, but he just really went there and was able to be comfortable there and execute, which was awesome. And I think after getting destroyed by Medvedev in the round before that, Felix needed that as a confidence booster. And I'm super glad for him that he was able to step up and do that, because I don't know if you remember the round before that. He got destroyed by Medvedev, and then he came into the doubles against Russia, and he was like a liability out there for Shapovalov. Like he wasn't doing anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, this kid is rattled, which is fair enough.
But he pulled it together, didn't he? And he made a lot of key first serves in that doubles match, especially towards the end. So I thought that was also positive.
Oh, totally. And he made a drop volley here, and then he gave this face, which I've actually queued up for this stream because to me it was legendary. And I think it'll serve the rest of his career. Right. Check this out. So yeah, that's my little Felix button, because I think, that's like the Felix stank face. He's just like, yeah, I'm feeling myself. We're not losing this. We're not losing this. And I thought that was great. What do you think?
It is great. I feel like he's come out of his shell a little bit emotionally. He always seemed a little bit timid on the court when he was, at his young age, especially when things were going wrong. He'd get a bit of a deer in the headlights look. And you definitely, in this one-on-one sport, you definitely want to be able to hype yourself up on the court. I'd say generally speaking, and
Mhm.
you need to have that a little bit of swagger. It's never hurt anyone, and Felix
Totally.
has definitely unlocked that a little bit. I feel recently, similar to Yannick Sinner, who I think has also gone through that transformation recently of being like, yeah, I'm good. I'm the man.
Yeah,
You need that.
absolutely. They all think it. They all think it, or at least the top guys do. I felt like, Felix and Sinner, both those guys, they could almost be like, especially Felix, they're like tennis players grown in a modern tennis producing factory, right? Like they're like these perfect specimens for the modern game. And I felt like Felix's mentality and emotional control was kind of like exactly how his coaches have always told him to be, right? Pretty reserved on court, don't show a lot of negative energy. But then there's sometimes when he's like clearly not playing well and he's clearly nervous that he just doesn't seem to like let the pressure off a bit by just like maybe like just giving even just a yell, just a whatever. It doesn't have to be like a racket smash or anything. He kind of keeps it bottled up, but I feel like he's like maybe riding that line a bit better now, and just with a bit of the macho mood, being like I'm here to win. He's able to get to ride the line and use that energy better. So yeah, just update on the score here, folks. 2-2. Been actually 2 big back-to-back service games. A lot of deuces in both for Ruusuvuori and AUGER-ALIASSIME. What do you think about this matchup, Gil? I was telling people here, a lot of Ruusuvuori is still ranked 90 in the world, and a lot of people might not have heard of him or see him if they're just casual tennis fans. But I was letting them know that I think his level's higher than his rank, and he's a dangerous cat.
100% agree. I don't know that he's a bad matchup for Felix with the things that he does well. I think he gives a good amount of rhythm. His serve isn't huge, his defense isn't awesome, but what you do get, what he is incredible at is really just the pure, consistent and heavy ball striking from the back. And he's one of those players you don't lose much going to his backhand, or I should say he doesn't lose much. He can really dictate either wing. There's nowhere safe on the court. A very, very solid ground stroker, but I don't know that he's the kind of guy who's going to bother Felix by putting tons of balls back in the court defensively, where sometimes you can draw those rallies out and find the errors from Felix. I don't think he's that guy. I think that Felix is going to be pretty successful in his attacking game against Ruusuvuori.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're kind of saying like he's not the guy that's gonna like be a savage defender where he's like, gonna shrink the court for Felix and make Felix feel like he has to overplay.
100%.
Because Felix, he's been susceptible to that. I mean, he's been susceptible to a lot in the past, but I keep forgetting that it's like I'm aware of it. I'm not forgetting, but he's 9 in the world now. Like it's kind of crazy actually. Like he's literally one of the top 10 players in the world, and I feel like he's in the same, hopefully, stage of his career that me and you are. It's like very early still, and every time he loses, all 8 of his finals that he's losses. I just keep reminding people that I don't think at this time Federer had like any real he's had success. Obviously, everyone knew he was good, but he hadn't won like a major, or he hadn't like won a ton of tournaments. So this is normal, I think.
It is. The frustrating part for Felix is that he probably went through a 2-year stretch where it just didn't appear that he was getting any better.
Right.
And at his age, you obviously want to see that constant growth. It felt like Felix was way ahead of the curve and then just stopped. And then last year in 2021, you kind of saw him. I feel like you saw him resume his development. But even last year, it just felt like there were levels higher that he could I guess low hanging fruit technically in his game that was available for him to develop and still is, which it's a double-edged sword, because if you watch Felix match, I don't know if you feel this the same way in Canada, but when I'm watching a lot of Felix matches and I'm focused on, say, the commentary, it's a lot of picking apart Felix and things he can do better. And I'm probably guilty of the same thing, because as an analyst, you watch his game and there's a lot of things you look at and you see, okay, he does that great, he does that great, but he can fix that, and he can fix that, and he can do that better. And you end up picking him apart instead of focusing obviously on the things he does well.
Yeah.
And in that respect, again, it's like, is that a good thing that he has so much to improve? Is it a bad thing that it seems like there's so much in his game that can be better? And I don't know. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, it's true. People do, I'd say, like, I don't think they're harsh on him. I think people do that to every player out there. And when a player's developing still and he's 21 years old, they're always going to be talking about the things he can get better at. If Felix was like Vasek Pospisil or something, 29 or 30, like they'd be like, oh, this is what you're getting. Nothing's really changing here. But I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing if there's a guy who's now 9 in the world and apparently has all these things he can improve on, which I think he does. Like, does anyone come to mind? And we don't have to crap on anyone here, but like, I think there's a lot of players that we know of that probably have like maxed out their potential. I saw some whispers of people thinking that maybe Andrei Rublev has kind of hit his ceiling of what he can get out of his game. It's not my take. I just heard people saying that. I don't think Felix is near, or I think he's near. I don't think he's there. I think he's maybe 80% of his potential on court. Yeah,
no, I mean, I'm happy to think about players who have kind of are known as talent maxer outers. You look at a guy like Pablo Carreño Busta or Roberto Bautista Agut, they just come to mind. We were just talking about the ATP Cup. Nobody's saying that they should be better, right?
Right.
Diego, obviously, and that's an obvious one with the height, but it's not just the grinders. I think a guy like Taylor Fritz, for example, I don't know if anyone really thinks he should be that much better. Now, I think he's going to break into the top 20 with the way he's playing. But let's say Fritz finishes his career with a career high number 12. That seems like he did as well as he possibly could. And that's not because he's a little guy and he's a grinder. It's actually the opposite. He's a big guy, big ground strokes, big serves, but he's just not very naturally gifted athletically. Like, he's not very
fast. Good way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you do? You can polish your game, your technique, and your shot making, but you're never going to be the fastest guy, and that's probably going to limit you. So Felix is someone with insane firepower, unbelievable athleticism, but there are a couple of technical things with his consistency, and then there's the mental game where it's kind of obvious that there's room for growth.
Yeah. And again, like you asked if that's a good thing, and I think it has to be a good thing, right? Like, if you're looking at his game and you're trying to find ways that he could actually get better, and there's not a lot of room for improvement there, it's not good for his goals, which I'm sure, to win Grand Slams and be number one. And that's definitely how people have talked about him his whole career. They're like, this guy's surefire multiple slam winner. And it's funny because as long as I've been watching tennis now, I probably started watching tennis in 2010, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Big Federer guy. Started watching after most of his success. Like, I was always like watching these videos of it, and then finally started to win more. He won one in 2012 and 2017, obviously. But since 2010, when we've seen all these different new players come up, there's been so much talk about each one of them, but I think 0 of them have gone on to win multiple slams since then, right? So it's like this phantom curse we're giving at every young player. It's like a Dimitrov, right? They probably talked about him winning, like, oh, he's the next Federer, like he's going to do amazing things. I can't think of maybe Raonic even when, he was a bit younger. All these different guys. And now we got Zverev. We've said that about, I don't think we ever said that about Medvedev when he was super young, but
no,
Tsitsipas.
He wasn't very good. He wasn't very good.
It's true. That's something that there's not been any like real, at least on my channel, dig into, is of how, like, literally in 2018, I was like, oh, Medvedev is kind of I don't know how he's in the top 100. And then now he's like, arguably the best player in the world. So it's like, it's pretty crazy. I like that because there's guys like Felix who have always been touted as like the next big things, but Medvedev's kind of just like was at a level and then he's increased his level. And I respect that. It's like hard to do.
Yeah. What he did was he got patient. He used to be an aggressive player and he doesn't have the technique or the stroke production to really execute that. I remember he just went for more. He used to go for a lot, and it just wasn't best for his game. And then I'm pretty sure he just got really, really fit because he started taking everything more seriously. And then once he got fit, he got patient.
Yeah. And then that's such a nuanced thing to find. And not, I'd love to like really know way more about this, but I wonder who are the tennis minds that he was working with at that point. Maybe he just found it on his own, but maybe, I don't know if he was working with Gilles Savara way back then, but like, that's just a nuanced thing to find, right? Because all of tennis seems to be is just like hit bigger, hit a bigger serve, hit a bigger forehand after it. And Medvedev's playing a style of tennis that is just, it's not completely unique, but his style of tennis is pretty unique. I still don't understand how his forehand is an ATP forehand. It's just like, it to me, it just always looks so late and wristy to save it. And it's just consistently so good. It's just wild. I love watching it.
Yeah, it's great. It's a breath of fresh air. There's definitely a new play style emerging with Medvedev's, where you have a big man who serves like a big man, but is able to return and grind and have a lot of shot tolerance and defend. I mean, man, it's really hard to get a ball by him, and not just him, but Zverev and Hurkacz. It's becoming a more common thing, but it's definitely new in general.
Yeah, no, I think what's that guy that we both know on Twitter, Matt from the Racket?
Yeah,
I think he wrote a good piece about the new meta play style that these guys play with, which is like petri dish tennis. I kind of call it like, just like if there's like a tennis like EA Sports, like you pick my player, you like max out all these things like height, length, court coverage, defense, serve. Like you just maxed out all these features. It's like creates these players.
Yeah, it's in every sport though, right? It's like it's the Kevin Durant like phenomenon, where the 7 foot.
I would love to do a matchup of those guys. You said Daniil Medvedev and Kevin Durant with their bobbleheads.
Exactly. I mean, it's like the 7-footer can shoot and dribble, and it's like, when did this happen and how?
Totally. Felix, now just tuning back to the match at hand. Felix comes out from a little love 30 deficit there.
Is it right that he's hit one winner, Felix, and it was on the last point?
It could be. Since you come in, I've been thinking more about our conversation. I haven't been really watching. I think it makes sense actually, because they've both been. I think it's pretty windy out there. Felix's shirt was like blowing around a crazy amount for sure at the beginning. And yeah, maybe he's just not feeling comfortable yet. But not a super sexy stat line there from either guy so far, except for I don't think this can be right, because Ruusuvuori's hit 100% first serves in, 30 for 30.
Yeah, probably. I'll check with the ATP or the Australian Open official.
You do that. This is the tennislive.com thing they built for me was it was pretty accurate last night. Maybe that'd be the first time I've ever seen that if Ruusuvuori actually has 30 for 30 first serves in.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the winners to unforced errors is correct, but Ruusuvuori is making 74% of his first serves. Oh wait, no, 63%.
63%, yeah.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something ooh, and the break goes to Ruusuvuori, breaks Felix. I literally didn't even see what happened there.
Double fault.
Yeah, not looking like a great start for Felix.
No.
From a number of angles.
Yeah, it seemed like they got into a lot of neutral rallies in that game. So I'm guessing Felix missed a good amount of first serves.
For sure. Yeah, well, he's going to have to focus here.
I'm even more certain that he's missed a good amount of first serves because he's 8 for 20, 40% on the match.
Yep. Tight start. Is that a tight start, a sloppy start, or a who knows what start?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if you've noticed this, and I haven't talked to anyone to ask if anyone else has noticed this, but I feel like there's been a lot of shaky performances early on at this event. I just think a lot of guys aren't looking great. It's weird that's a weird thing to say. Like the sample size is too big. I haven't been able to watch anything. I mean, everything, but if you just kind of run through it, in the matches I've watched, there's been a lot of really surprisingly difficult matches for people, from Cam Nori to Matteo Berrettini, who ended up winning. You look at the teenagers on the WTA, you look at Fernandez today,
Yeah.
Coco Gauff yesterday, just a lot of matches where you can say, not only was there a loser in this match, but there was someone who really didn't bring it, like just didn't have it and had a bad day. I feel like we're getting a lot of that.
Yeah, I think from the small sample size we have, I think that's an accurate, and it seems that maybe the younger players like, Coco Gauff, Fernandez today. Just watched that match before this. I don't know if you watched the Fernandez match before this. Did you see any of it?
Yeah, I saw a lot of the second set.
Yeah, it was not good, right? It was one of the, it's unfortunately follows the storyline of Ostapenko, Madison Keys. It's just like, it's actually like mathematically, I just feel like if I was more of a betting man, maybe should have bet against Layla, because it's like, goes to the US Open final, her profile maybe 20 folds in that run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Literally this week before the Australian Open, she announces partnerships with Google, Gatorade, and Lululemon. It's just like, it's like, I wonder if the management ever goes, let's just announce these after your first win at the Australian Open. But I guess that doesn't really work with the brands. But it's like,
right.
There is just like, as a tennis player, you're the boss of your team and you know what's going on. Felix, by the way, 3 break back points here. Looks like he's going to get it. It's good to see. Like, you just know that now you're expected to win, and it's just, Layla's still 19. It's kind of a classic storyline. Hey, like, it's unfortunate, but
yeah, it totally changes the brain chemistry, I would say, when you have that kind of expectation and pressure. And it's just something that I think they all need to get used to. Coco has had a nice, consistent career, I'd say, so far. And that was one of the few, like, that was only her second ever first round loss at a major. That's one thing that's been impressive about Coco, I think, is like, she hasn't had that explosive run that even just, Emma and Layla bursting onto the scene at the US Open have had. But she's been she's been somewhat consistent, I'd say, but it's hard. It's really hard at that age. And especially, I don't know. I guess there's not much more to say other than you need to have a really good team around you that can kind of put you in the right state of mind. And then you need to kind of probably, the weird thing about Layla is she's so confident. Her expectations are so high. And that might be a little bit different from maybe like an Emma, who says, well, we'll see what happens. There's no pressure. Layla's like, no, like, I'm here to be top 10. I'm here to go to Shenzhen, or, well, not Shenzhen. Have they said where the finals? They haven't said.
It's not going to be back in Mexico.
I mean, it could be, but I don't feel like that was kind of like a one-time thing, I thought. But I would love it to be back in Mexico. Anyway, she wants to be in the top 8. Like, she has an interesting outlook on putting her self-belief out in the open, and I kind of like it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I do like it too. It's what I like about other guys like Holger Rune. They talk that talk, it puts other players to be like, oh man, this guy's just saying a lot of things, like watch him fall type thing. I don't think Layla's like as like, I'm here, I'm now. She's just like, yeah, I want to win. That's what I want to do. And I think we all know that when Emma says there's no pressure, that's a cute little lie there. There is a ton of pressure on Emma, and that's just her way of trying to shake it off, which is fair enough. Like, you got to say it. You got to tell yourself a different story. That's like mental strength 101. But yeah, it was a bit of it wasn't like a debacle today from, like, it's just Madison Inglis, to be fair, played very well. Like, I don't know, the second set, she kept it up. She got a little bit tight there at the end, but she hit a lot of lines today. I couldn't believe it. And that Emma wasn't happy about it either. I was like, oh my gosh. She was just getting a lot of balls deep, and she looked, from everything I saw in that match, first time I'd ever seen her play, looks very solid, like a very solid player. So tough one for Layla.
What do you think of her her forehand, when she has to build with it, when she has to create offense with it, it seemed like to me that was when she looked uncomfortable. And I thought there were a lot of errors off of that side. And I remember over the course of the US Open, I thought, I've always thought the technique looks a little strange on that side, but it just, it obviously held up at all times throughout the US Open when I was watching her closely every match for the first time. In this match, it really did seem like the forehand was not a reliable weapon for her.
Yeah. I think today, like I know you mean with the technique, it looks like oh my gosh, Felix's first serve percentage is 36%. Just FYI, an aside. It looks like a forehand or a stroke that relies heavily on kind of like body timing. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it's kind of like it's not a super army stroke, I think. But so at the US Open, it seems like she was just reading the ball super well, like kind of using an opponent's pace to then hook it and kind of whip it cross court with that lefty forehand. But I think this court looks it looks really quick. I don't know what it looks like to you. The Australian Open's typically faster than the US Open, I think. And then with her being, I think, just mentally not settled today and like trying to like force it too much, her timing looked off. So yeah, when there was a lower sitting ball, she looked like she was too quick on it, and then it was into the net most times was the miss. And then yeah, Inglis was getting a lot of balls really deep, and then the balls are skidding because it's fast. And yeah, the timing was just an issue for Layla all day long. She was fighting it.
Yep.
30-30 now here. Felix and Roos, the big R. Ace there from Felix out wide. This is a good, this is a tight match. This is what I kind of expected because, as I said, both these guys are dangerous, and Ruusuvuori's no slouch.
Seems like you're about 20 seconds ahead of me or so, maybe 15.
Okay.
Just so we're on the same page. And but by all means, don't worry about spoilers for me. It's about the audience. But.
It is. What are you watching on the ESPN Plus?
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny because TSN usually pulls from the ESPN feed, but maybe it's different because they're not on the cable. If you guys are just joining into the stream, thanks for being here. Make sure you hit like on the video, helps out the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. You can now become a member of the channel, which is a new thing. And we're here with Gil Gross, fellow YouTuber from his channel. I think is it just called Gil Gross on YouTube? There's no name to the channel.
That is correct.
Monday Match Analysis. Yeah, so welcome. Thanks for being here. Gil's he's got amazing insight into tennis. He's talked a lot about Felix as obviously one of the big names in the men's side of the game. And we appreciate him being here today.
Great to be with you, Steven. Hopefully the first of many. I'm glad it's become a big thing to do these live watch alongs. I think it's been good for the tennis YouTube community.
Yeah, it seems like it. I don't know. There's a couple other guys who do it. Cam Williams, people have talked about in here, and the Game to Love boys really do it nicely. It's where I got the idea for the scoreboard, actually. So I did these like a long time ago, and I called them like match companions, and it would just be literally just a video of my face and then me talking about what I was seeing on the TV. And I just felt like it was not a very good on-screen product. And, when it wasn't always the most fun to just sit by yourself and just for 4 hours and talk. But I feel now that we can, pull guests in with this and have the people's comments come up on the screen, it's pretty engaging and it's pretty fun. And some of the folks here watching are stoked to have Gil on the stream, as I saw earlier. Chris DeSante just kind of talked about what I answered earlier. Kind of my thoughts is I think, yeah, she's playing with expectation in a sport that's as mentally tough as tennis is always a tough thing. And when the expectation has come on quickly, like it did for Layla, it's even harder because you haven't like built into it. Now we got 4-all, Ruusuvuori and FAA. 15 all. Both guys are going to look to, Felix is going to look to make a move here. He's just broken back after getting broken earlier by mostly himself. I think a couple double faults in that game. Our stats showing on the screen are not 100% accurate right now with either serving stats. So that's kind of not ideal. So maybe we'll do this for now.
So remember how I was talking about how Felix was going to have a lot of success when he gets on top of the point because Ruusuvuori isn't the best defender.
Yeah.
That first serve percentage being where it's at for Felix at 46%, that's going to pretty much neutralize that entire dynamic, because those points where FAA is dictating and doing that early damage, that's going to be behind that first serve. If he's starting a lot of points off with the second serve, we're talking about, neutral baseline rallies, and that's where the gap between Felix and Ruusuvuori is going to be a lot tighter because Emil's got a really good ground stroke game and trades well from the back of the court.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that makes sense. And that's a good observation. Like, yeah, if you're just Ruusuvuori is almost like more solid from the baseline. Almost. Just from maybe a not missing standpoint.
Yeah, I think so, especially at times. I mean, that's the one thing I think that Felix really does need to improve and is improving, is just the margins and the patience and the shot tolerance, and all those three things go hand in hand. It was kind of what impressed me most at the ATP Cup, is that with a guy like RBA, whose shot selection and consistency is top flight, he was able to accept those lengthy rallies and keep the ball in the court and not go for too much too early.
Right. Yeah, it's a rally that you just talked about. You'll see a good example of it when you get to the 30-30 point here at 4-all.
Yeah, on mid rally. Yep. Yeah, the patience, understanding when to pull the trigger, and then also when you do pull the trigger, it doesn't need to be a clean winner. Take a couple shots to build and apply the pressure. A lot of the time, Felix, especially as a younger player, it was 100 miles per hour at the line. And that was the attack.
Yeah, I feel like Felix has got a break point here, trying to get it done. He's defending right now, and he gets the break. Felix, I might have to press the button for him. Gets the break, and he's going to show his stank face. It says call me ATM because I think that's his actual nickname on tour, apparently. Other tennis players call. ATM? Have you heard this?
I
ATM.
Haven't.
Just because he's like ATM. He's just like a walking money bag, because they think he's just like the poster boy for like the next generation of tennis. He does everything right. Social media is on point. He looks great out there. Got a great looking game. ATM. Apparently that's what they call him.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I mean, when I first saw him, it wasn't just his game, but I definitely was like, okay, the way he carries himself, the way he looks, like this can be a real superstar. How's his popularity compared to Dennis in Canada? Because they're pretty close in terms of both accomplishments and level.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's much space between them at all. Like, Shapovalov had that legendary win against Nadal in, I think it was Montreal 2017 at the Rogers Cup, which was kind of just sick. And he was and then so he got that level where everyone knew his name. He was like he was the face of the next generation of Canadian tennis. And then but the story was quickly there, like Felix was like right there, and it was this two-headed or two-punch combo from the men's side. I remember at the 2019 US Open where they played, I think Felix had to stop because of some weird chest pain that he had. And it was like, I think they kind of got lumped into the same as like, these are Canadian guys. And they're both, I would say, equally popular in Canada. They both got pretty like, Shapovalov is more of like a polarizing character probably. He's not super polarizing in any way, but he's got more of an attitude on court for sure. And he used to spaz out a lot. And I think that probably bugged some people, and Felix is pretty like PG-13, so he appeals to the kids and to the grannies and to everyone watching.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's
No
what I mean.
backwards cap.
ATM. Sponsors feel safe putting their getting around them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Felix now serving to see out the first set. A good rise in form here from Felix after a shaky start, obviously. Ruusuvuori just steps in there and slaps the forehand. Would you say it's fair to say Ruusuvuori is like a poor man's Jannik Sinner with their ground strokes? I feel like they're pretty similar.
100%.
It's actually
Yeah.
kind of crazy to me how similar they are.
Right. You get a couple of visual things too with the white head racket and the cap.
Yeah.
So that doesn't hurt either. But yeah, I mean, it's the forehand technically looks ridiculously similar,
Yeah.
and we just, I think we were both just looking at the replay of inside in winner by Ruusuvuori and comparing it in our heads to Sinner, and yeah, it's very similar. Then Ruusuvuori also has that solid backhand. He's never going to be afraid to use that. He's going to feel like he has the advantage on the backhand to backhand rally with his fellow righties, but he's also not going to bring too much variety, is not going to be lightning quick.
Yeah.
And Sinner has a kind of a similar thing going on. It's just Sinner is probably on average 5 miles per hour bigger off of both sides.
Yeah. Man, when Sinner plays like his best and he's like mashing the ball, like it's other pros are like disturbed. Like I remember like Opelka, I think it was Opelka in Vienna maybe, and he was just laughing as he was getting beaten. He's like, what did he say? He's like, I don't know how Novak, or he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what he said. Do you remember?
Yeah, he said, I don't know how Novak. Wait. Did him and Novak, it might have been someone else, right? Did he play Novak at the US Open? No. So who was it?
Maybe Opelka got it wrong because I think he said Novak.
It might have been.
I think it was Sinner that he was talking about.
Sure it wasn't.
Or no, it was Brooksby that Opelka was talking about.
Yeah, it was Brooksby.
Yeah, I screwed up this whole story. Never mind.
Yeah.
But it is true. That's not the only reason I was thinking that. It is true that I think he just like smashes the ball forehand and backhand, and it's scary to watch. Felix now close to serving out the set. Looks like our stats. Wonder if they're working now.
Starting to make more
Definitely
first serves, and he's winning 71% when he gets that first serve in, which is not surprising to me. I do also like how he got that break with the defense and keeping the ball on the court, because he's so fast. But I think for a lot of his early years on tour, he never really got to use his speed because he wasn't willing to defend. So it didn't matter that he was a great athlete. He wasn't keeping the ball on the court enough, and he wasn't defensively minded at times. So he just couldn't really use it as an asset, even though he had it.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I love there's like it is a mindset, like you said, and there's an art to just being like, to knowing that you're on a defensive side of a point and like sitting in that and being comfortable in it. Like it's such a thing of beauty when you see Novak just like know that he's now on the defensive and he's just like, okay, come put the ball by me and like it's so fun to watch him like just sit into those out wide sliding. And Felix can do that. Obviously he's got the body, but yeah, to your point, maybe he's utilizing that in now a smarter way. Felix clinches the set with a fist pump and an ace. Yeah, that's a professional. That's a top 10 set of tennis, I think, turning it around there, just kind of being like, not letting it get away from him. Whereas I feel like maybe a year ago, he loses that set and has to come back in 4 or 5.
Yeah, that when the confidence was more fragile, and he would again kind of shrink on the court when things weren't going his way. But definitely also just the first serve clicks there at the end of the set, which was definitely key for him.
Yeah, definitely got to get better. Again, apologies for the stats that we're showing here. The first serve percentage is completely wrong for both guys. But yeah, his serve did start to get better. The real stats are still says 46 for Felix. 50 got up to 50%, but yeah. And at the end there, it got better. And his first serve, I think in general, like at its top level, is getting better, and it's when he's really popping that thing in there. He's got. I don't know, where would you rank his first serve among the other top 10 guys?
Oh, super underrated. Let me. I mean, Zverev and Medvedev are better than him as far as the first serve is concerned. Just make sure do my due diligence and actually pull up the rankings so that I won't make any mistake. Yeah, and Berrettini, and then it's Felix.
Yeah.
First serve wise, I mean, I guess between him and Stefanos, I think Tsitsipas definitely has a better second serve, but I think I take Felix on the first serve. That's the one that's close, but Felix is definitely in that second tier of first serve effectiveness, I'd say, in the top 10, where he's not quite Berrettini, Zverev, Medvedev, but after that he's there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, I think it's gotten to a level now where it can be an absolute like cornerstone to his game, and he's gonna build his game around that for sure. And I don't see there's really that much room for improvement in that zone, and there doesn't really need to be. It's good enough. I think the second serve is where I think I've heard people talk about there being a bit of room for improvement there.
Yeah, I think there is. He doesn't really hit a kick serve. It's more of a slice.
Yeah.
And that's where you see he's generally towards the tour leaders in double fault rate, which, I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world as long as your second serve is heavy and it's effective. But I don't know that he's getting a good ratio there. I still feel like his second serve it could be more reliable than it is, no doubt.
Right. Yep. And that's part of I'd say the good thing about there being lots to improve with Felix's game that is already so potent. What do you see as the rest of this match going on? You see Ruusuvuori getting a set off Felix?
I would say 3 or 4. Now that's not a bold take. Let me think. Yeah, I think Ruusuvuori does take a set. I think everyone's kind of settling in based on what I've seen from a lot of the top players here. There hasn't been clean performances. I see it's windy. Ruusuvuori is a player who is going to deliver a lot of good aggression from the baseline and be pretty consistent. So I don't really see him going away. Again, I expect Felix, when he makes his first serve, to have a ton of success throughout the match, just because I don't think Ruusuvuori can really scramble well enough to steal a lot of those points. But other than that, I think it should be tight. And I could see Felix dropping a set, but ultimately this is kind of about settling in for him. That was a good first set. And I'm very excited to see what he does at this event. Unfortunate to be in Medvedev's quarter. I think you would have really favored him maybe he might have been the favorite to go to the semifinals in 2 of these quarters, the Novak quarter, which has been depleted perhaps. Yeah. And then you have the Tsitsipas quarter with Stefanos's health question marks, and Ruud just pulled out, but he's in the Medvedev quarter. That's a tough break. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what Felix does.
Yeah, he'll definitely be out for revenge if that matchup does happen in the quarterfinals after getting kind of beaten up on in the ATP Cup and losing in a disappointing way, I'd say, in the semifinal of the US Open where they met last at a major. But Gil, I know you got to run, so I appreciate you hopping on here. People can obviously find you on YouTube. Where else should our subscribers find you and get your tennis commentary?
Well, the Twitter handle is @Gil_Gross. I tend to spend a good amount of time on that godforsaken app. And then also on podcast platforms, I put up a lot of my content, not all of it, but a lot of it. And you look up Monday Match Analysis on your favorite podcast platform, and I will come up there if you are an audio listener.
That is right. I'm just making a little banner there. Follow Gil Gross, Monday Match Analysis. Thanks for coming on, Gil, sharing this is fun. It's great to bounce off ideas off you. You're one of the best minds in tennis for sure on the come up, and I haven't yet been able to see you on Tennis Channel. That's out of the bag, right? I can announce that. That's
Yeah.
okay. I just
No, I've quite literally been on air. It's
okay,
it's
good. Unfortunately, I don't think there's really any way to see it in Canada. Like for us, maybe I could buy
Right.
the online Tennis Channel Plus or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's geo blocked or not, but you normally wouldn't hear me on that anyway.
Okay.
There is I can't say anything, but there is something that Tennis Channel is doing, and I wonder if you might if that's international or not. I'm not really sure, but
Okay.
I can't really say anything. So
Fair enough. We catch the vibe.
Yeah.
Anyways, looking forward to seeing you continue doing your great work, and thanks for stopping by tonight. And enjoy the rest of the Australian Open. We'll probably chat again.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This was fun. I hope the listeners, I know we have a lot of mutual viewers. Hope they enjoyed this. Great to get together, and enjoy the rest of the match.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you
All
later.
right. See ya.
What a lad. What a lad. Gil Gross popping in here on the Canadian tennis stream. Thank you guys for being here. If you are popping in now, make sure to hit the like button. That really helps out the channel. See where we're at here. At 16 likes. It's pretty good. So yeah, Felix Auger-Aliassime takes the first set, 6-4. Now we're in the second set with Ruusuvuori. Definitely a fighter. Definitely not going to go away. And, they're about the same age. So there's pride on the line here. Ruusuvuori is actually a little bit older. So he's like, you know what, maybe I've been around longer than this young Felix. I'm the actual guy who should be winning these. So we'll see. I think I'll be able to watch a lot more of these points now after having a great conversation with Gil Gross, having a little Stella here late at night here in Canada. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Felix's level right now? What would you say? Two break points for Ruusuvuori, looking like good returns. Break points 1 for 2 for Ruusuvuori, and 2 out of 7 for Auger-Aliassime. Ruusuvuori gets the break against Felix. Again, goes up a break in the set like he did the first time. Is he going to relinquish that break again? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Both guys smashing the ball. Ruusuvuori can really crank it, as Gil and I were saying. Forehand, backhand, he can really smash the ball. I think he feels comfortable on that backhand. And he's played well today to keep the balls deep, and that's kind of limited Felix's aggression a lot of times. Felix really likes to be aggressive, and against a guy like Ruusuvuori who's so solid from the baseline, it can be tougher to do that. Big hitting again from Ruusuvuori, who comes forward, finishes that point off with the smash. Smash Ola. Oh, just monster forehands from Ruusuvuori. Just piping the ball. Really nice. Just flat stroke. Just overpowering Felix at the moment here. Makes sense. He's on his own serve, but pretty crazy. We got Dominic Lowe saying room for improvement. He's talking about Felix. Has lots of time. Again, just another point where Ruusuvuori is just absolutely mashing the ball at will, hitting clean winners. You know, just the manner in which he's doing this can almost put Felix off, being like, where's this level? Is this level going to stay, or what are we doing here? Now, Ruusuvuori does a drop shot. Felix gets to it, but Finland cuts it off, and Emil Ruusuvuori looking pretty good, up 3-0 in the second set versus our Canadian FAA. This is what I'm talking about, folks. He's a very good player, Felix AUGER-ALIASSIME. So Felix is going to have to problem solve here in the second set unless he wants to go at least 4, which no one likes to go 4. Austin Nelson is watching Andy Murray. Let's take a look at that score. What's happening there? This is extremely high level. Some scores from around the grounds here. Daniil Medvedev won in 3 sets. Tiebreaker in the third. Simona Halep won in 2 sets. Rublev won in 3. Swiatek won 6-3, 6-0 against Harriet Dart. Kontaveit beat Siniakova 6-2, 6-3. And now Andy Murray's playing Nicolas Belashvili 6-1. They're tied now, 1 set apiece in the third set. Andy Murray's up a break. Now, Felix is in some trouble here against Emil Ruusuvuori, who is slapping the ball, playing at a very high level. You see that? We're cheering for our guy. If you're Canadian and watching this stream, let me know where you're watching from. $15 here now. Felix needs to hold this game, or else we look like we're going 4 at least. Emil Ruusuvuori is looking comfortable out there. Felix does take quite a bit of time between his serves. Not quite a bit of time, but his little gather motion there is quite calm, cool, and collected and slow. Makes for a lot of talking for the commentators, like myself. Felix, first serve, and then shanks off the first forehand. 2 more break points now for Ruusuvuori versus FAA. This is double break potential here going up for Ruusuvuori. Felix is he's getting into that zone where he's looking a bit flustered. He's looking like he's holding up pent up anger energy. And he's just on the back foot right now. And that's not where he likes to be. And he doesn't always have a real strong identity in his game when he's on the back foot or he's not playing his best. So again, this is a big problem solving time for Felix here. Second serve now. What's going to happen, folks? Oh, huge return from Emil, who's just seeing the ball like a balloon right now. Puts that return on the baseline, and Felix can't get it back in play. 4-0 now for Ruusuvuori over Felix. What's happening, folks? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know what's happening. Like, Ruusuvuori is actually just smashing the ball. Like, he's playing smash ball tennis, which is what I would call it. Respect. He can do that. He's got that in his arsenal. He's not necessarily playing out of his socks right now. Felix with a good return there, gets the error from Ruusuvuori. Felix can get one of these breaks back, then he's back in business. If not, we're going to be going 4. The ball does look like it's getting blown around out there. Decent amount, which I've seen, like I said to Gil, I've seen it affect FAA in the past in a bad way where he doesn't feel comfortable being aggressive. He likes being aggressive. He feels most comfortable when he's able to be aggressive. So I think that's a bit of the case here. His opponent, it's hard to be aggressive against Ruusuvuori when he's playing this well, keeping this many balls deep and hard. It's hard to attack that. And then it's also windy. So a couple factors there. Another line from Ruusuvuori. Felix is not getting great depth on his forehand right now, not compared to Ruusuvuori. Maybe that's the wind direction. I don't know which way the wind is going. Maybe it's going towards Felix right now, but Ruusuvuori is definitely getting a better depth and a better pace on his forehand. I think he in general hits a flatter ball than Felix on that wing. But you would think that with the wind, it would be harder to control, but Ruusuvuori is having a great time controlling it. Now he's got 2 points to go up 5-0. 5-0. Mark Johnson says, Felix likes to avoid getting rattled. Agree with that. What do you mean by avoiding getting rattled? Like, he gets rattled when he's down, I think. Felix saves one of these game points. The set's over, I think, if Ruusuvuori gets this game. But if Felix can somehow find a way to break back here, the set is still redeemable. We've got... And Felix shanks the forehand return. Can't believe it. Now that is 5-0 for Ruusuvuori. 5-0, folks. Not looking great for the FAA train. Let's look at some stats here that are not, again, apologies for them not showing totally correctly on the screen. Ruusuvuori's only got one ace, 65% first serve in, 68% win rate. He's only got a 35% win rate on the second serve. So Felix is doing a good job attacking Ruusuvuori's second serve. 15 winners for Ruusuvuori, though, to 7 for Felix. So Ruusuvuori's been able to be a lot more aggressive in this match so far, it seems. And yeah, Felix is just not really feeling his game, not really on the front foot. Diego is saying Felix hasn't figured out his mental game yet. I think every player gets better as time goes on. Felix has definitely had, problems like everyone else does, getting tight at certain points in matches. I think he's getting a lot better, though, and I don't think this is just that, you can lose tennis matches. I think Felix has so much expectation on him to win every single match he plays because of the talent that he possesses. People kind of, I think, maybe go a bit hard on him when it comes to the mental side of the game. Mental game is tough for everyone. And most times when you lose a match, it's probably in large part due to the mental side of the game. Anyways, Felix here to serve to try and get on the board and avoid the bagel. Don't want to have it be bagel time here for Felix in this second set. Try to get some other commentators always talk about getting that momentum, even just winning a game or two here in the second set to bring into the third set, because this set is probably over. Again, another great return by Ruusuvuori. Deep backhand then from him. Now drop shot. Felix can't get to it. Just great play by Ruusuvuori. Bringing it on. The finish. Fantastic fin. Yeah, just as the commentator is saying, it's been a returning exhibition. Just really good play from Ruusuvuori, showing his class and showing why I think it should be rated a lot higher than he actually is at 90 in the world, playing more like a top 20 right now, top 15 player. Felix just misses with the first serve there. He would love to get more first serves in. Again, stats are wrong on the screen in the serving categories. But Felix only about 52% first serve in. Both Canadians not having good serving performances, and that's just like a brutal second serve there for Felix. This is going very downhill very quickly. It's going to be a bagel. 30 love. Potential bagel happening. Top 10 player in the world right now, about to possibly receive a bagel. Not good. First serve in for Felix, followed up with a backhand cross court. Backhand up the middle. Ruusuvuori eats that for lunch. Now it's coming forward and smashes a clean winner. Felix seems perplexed. His game is just not doing any damage right now. And Ruusuvuori seems like he's outclassed him. Felix is going into problem-solving mode now, big time. As Lady T says, oh no is correct. Again, if you're new here, thanks for hitting the like button. It really helps out the channel. Make sure you subscribe, and you can become a member if you like. Gives you a special emoji and badge, as now Felix gets a bagel. Dang, Emil Ruusuvuori comes out and plays a fantastic second set, wins it in 25 minutes, 6-0. And it's bagel time. Unfortunately for Felix, it's bagel time. We got to figure out what's going on here, folks. What is going on? Jiminy Cricket says, come on, Felix, you got to channel your ATP performance, and for the remainder of this game, you can do it. ATP Cup, he mean. Yeah, that's true. He's definitely playing at a lower level than he did at the ATP Cup. The concerning part is that Emil Ruusuvuori is playing extremely well, and kind of is, I would say, from what I've seen in the second set, he's the reason that Felix isn't playing well. It's because Ruusuvuori is playing super well. When Ruusuvuori held for the 3-love game there, he did it in such a fashion that I was saying, if you go to the replay, he was just slapping these forehands, and maybe that can affect, seeing that can affect the opponent and be like, is this what I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of this match? Anyways, not a great place to be for Felix getting given a bagel, but I saw him have a little trot off the court there. So hopefully he keeps a good attitude, but he's going to need more than a good attitude to knock Ruusuvuori off the level he's producing right now, which is quite high. Amazing. Emil's pumped up. He's pumped up that he's got a bagel, that he's got a set. Amazing. The commentators are saying this is an absolute beatdown in the second set there. So, folks, what do you guys think Felix has to do? What does he got to do to turn this around? Min Cheese giving the bagel. It's unfortunate that's what it is, the bagel. Felix just changed his clothes. Mark Johnson says, I don't want another Fernandez-style game here. Yeah, we can't have that. Can't have that. If you guys are new here, you guys are just tuning in maybe this Felix match is starting earlier than you thought it was. Welcome to the Canadian Tennis Stream. Thanks for checking in. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate it. Like we said. All right, new balls. Emil Ruusuvuori to serve. 6-0. We're going to see what Felix is going to be able to do here as far as problem solving. There we go. That's the first point for Felix. He's got to find more depth with his forehand, which he just did there on that point. If I was Felix, you'd want to change it up. You'd want to not submit your game, but just throw in changes up there. Use a slice, keep the ball low, and try and mix it up for Ruusuvuori so he's not just sitting there hitting waist high balls, having a great time, because that's what he's doing right now. Felix is in that mode where he's kind of looking just like a little bit deer in the headlights. See what he can do. First serve for Ruusuvuori. Good forehand. Another great forehand. Felix a good forehand up the line, but Ruusuvuori backhand cross. Slice from Felix. Just right now, Ruusuvuori's forehand is just totally dominating this game. He's just doing whatever he wants with it, seeing the ball like a beach ball, as they would say. Good first serve there on the line for Ruusuvuori. Ruusuvuori misses a first serve there. If you're just joining now and you're looking at the stats and you're seeing first serve for Ruusuvuori 98%, that is not accurate. There's a glitch on the service stats, it seems, but there's no glitches in Ruusuvuori's forehand, and Felix can't believe it. Like, Ruusuvuori is literally just mashing the ball, and right now it's absolutely one-way traffic. 7 games in a row after Felix took the first set for Ruusuvuori. I think this next game's a big game here for Felix. He's got to get on the board, show that he's getting back in the game, going punch for punch instead of just getting beaten down by Emil. I'd love to see a little jog to the baseline from Felix. Head up, breathe. Remember that you're the number 9 player in the world. And you absolutely can turn this around. Right now, I just don't see how you can do it. We got a comment here. Sycamore says Ruusuvuori for the AO. Honestly, mate, the way he's hitting this forehand, Ruusuvuori could win the Australian Open. That would be insane if you think about it. All right, Felix misses the first serve to start. I would love to see Felix optimize his pre-service routine, just make it a little bit quicker. Forehand shank from Felix. Seems like the depth that Ruusuvuori is getting is really bothering Felix because I think you gotta change something up with your Felix. He hasn't come forward really at all in this match, and he's got to start doing something differently because right now he's just not able to hang with Ruusuvuori from the back of the court. So you got to start slicing, like I said, changing up the pace, coming forward off your serve. Do what you got to do to change up the look. Both guys have come to the net 6 times only in 2 and a bit sets. And Emil is just teeing off on every second service that FAA does. Felix gets the point there off a miss from Ruusuvuori, but Emil's really going for those second serves, which it's fair. It's one of the things that we all kind of know that Felix could improve his second serve. Second serve probably action on it and his predictability of where it's going to go. Because if there's not a lot of action, it's more predictable. Felix would Sycamore, I remember Lucas Russell beating Nadal in Wimbledon, playing like a perfect set. I thought he was the favorite after that, and he lost the next round in 3. Lol. Yeah, that's usually what happens. But this would be much less of an upset if Ruusuvuori was to beat Felix. It would still be an upset, but they're the same age, and I think Ruusuvuori is much better than his rank. Clearly playing it like it right now. He's absolutely blowing Felix off the court. Hey, there we go. There's a backhand up the line from Felix, a little stab backhand winner up the line, and he gives an allez. Allez means let's go in French. We'll see. Ruusuvuori came in after that forehand. Some great defense from Felix. And he loves it. Gives a little bit of a stank face. Trying to get himself back in this. 30-15 for him now. Great defense. Will that change anything? Will that change the fate that he's currently experiencing? Yeah, good backhand from Felix there, pulling Ruusuvuori off the court. This is the best game Felix has had for the last 7, which is pretty crazy. So Felix can get this and settle down a bit, and maybe make Ruusuvuori start to think a little bit, because he was just unconscious. He was playing unconscious level there. And there's a free point on this first serve for Felix, who I'm sure loves to see that. He gets on the board, gives a fist pump. He's doing all the right things, trying to stay mentally in it, mentally focused. If you guys are new here, thanks for joining the Canadian tennis stream. What's up? It's not only for Canadians, but it's where myself, as a proud Canadian, we're watching our Canadian stars at this Australian Open. We're doing lives, watch alongs, because during the Australian Open, we have to stay up crazy, insane hours during the nights because that's just how the Australian Open time zones work. And it's better to be together than alone. So welcome to the stream. Thanks for smashing the like button and subscribing if you haven't. Ruusuvuori, if you're just joining, Ruusuvuori has been absolutely playing lights out for a set and a bit. As you can clearly see on the scoreline, going 6-0, giving out a bagel on the last set. Felix has finally got back on even terms here on the third set, looking for answers, looking for solutions. And we're all wondering, what's he going to find? Ruusuvuori continues to smash the forehand. 17 winners now for Ruusuvuori to AUGER-ALIASSIME's 8. 30 unforced errors, but 17 winners. That's good ball striking. That is great ball striking. What are we going to get here, folks? What are we going to have? Is this for a while there, again, knowing both these guys are good, I didn't expect it to be a simple 3-set win for Felix. It's drifty out there. The wind, it looks like it's swirling. So that example serve looked like it was going out, and then it finally dipped in, caught Felix off by surprise. Felix is the guy who gets affected by the wind for sure. Interesting. You wouldn't really think his game does, or at least I didn't. Quick game there for Ruusuvuori. Hold serve. I'd say right now the Ruusuvuori has the upper hand in this match. What do you guys think? Let me know. What are we thinking? I want to see some predictions. I want to see scores. I want to see how many sets we're going here and who you think the winner is. Sycamo, what do you mean? I never trust Felix's game. IG. I believe in his game. I believe in his game. Do I trust it now? Would I put all my money on it? Absolutely not. But he's 21 years old, so that's my excuse. Not that I don't trust my guy. Now, Felix serving. Love to see some more rhythm to get into it. Ruusuvuori backhand up the line. Just, oh my gosh. And now just slapping the ball again. I'm serious, guys. This is some of the best hitting of a tennis ball I've seen in 2022. Just crazy level off his forehand. I'm just gonna tweet here, guys. Follow me at the Slice Tennis on Twitter because I gotta let people ask what's happening here. Haven't seen bigger forehands hit in 2022. Felix trying to find solutions. Oh, wow. AUGER-ALIASSIME 3015. He's really has not harnessed his serve at all. His serve has been mediocre. Again, stats on the screen are wrong. Ruusuvuori teeing off another forehand. Felix going behind Ruusuvuori. Felix backhand is being strong tonight. Another great drop shot. Actually, not a great drop shot from Ruusuvuori. Felix gets there easily. He's springy like a cat, super fast, and gets to it. Now 40-15. Mark Johnson asks, how did Norrie get to play in the ATP Cup finals, but not Felix, who is number 9? Well, Felix gained points from the ATP Cup win that Canada had, so he's actually moved up to number 9. I think he was in number 11 at the time of the ATP finals in November. So that's why. Looks like Felix just got one of his few aces, but it was a let call. We're just it's coming up on the 2-hour mark here, folks. Looks like we could be in for a couple more hours because Felix is not really close to the finish line here. Ruusuvuori with another good return there, and Felix feels rushed, cramped. Every time that you put in a second serve and there's a really good return coming back, it makes you think more and more about the first serve the next time and the second serve. It just makes it more difficult as a server to execute because you're thinking, what happens if you should just be thinking about doing damage with your first serve. What are you going to do if it comes back? It's your next shot. But the problem is Felix is not getting any first serves in at the moment. It's not ideal. Felix gets the game and he gives a pump up and he says, come on, man, come on, let's go. He's trying to pump himself up. He needs to do it. Right, we now 2-2 in the second set. Really interesting moment in the match here. It's a big moment here. I think the stats on whoever wins a third set in a best of 5 set match is big time for who wins this third set. So super important time. Felix continues to shank another forehand. Can't really figure out what's going on. He's just not settled. The wind is blowing pretty good, and it's clearly bothering Felix. Ace from Ruusuvuori, just chugging along. Ruusuvuori just what would they say? Machine-like, unconscious, just playing at a very high level. It's quite impressive. Oh my gosh, Felix. Ruusuvuori is hitting the biggest forehands I've seen in 2020. I haven't seen these big forehands ever. Like, what is going on? Like, he's just Felix is struggling to get anything deep because of the wind and a bunch of and Ruusuvuori's pace, I guess. But Ruusuvuori, no matter how deep Felix gets it, he's just putting it within a foot of the baseline every time. It's quite incredible how well he's playing. That's good on him. That's very good from Ruusuvuori. Felix is going to have to do something to get him off his level because that is very high level from Ruusuvuori. So yeah, folks, what do you think? What do you guys see in Ruusuvuori's game right now that's so hard for Felix to handle, other than everything, other than just how he's playing? He's really playing at a high level, and Felix is. I'm just going through Twitter here trying to see what other people are saying. If other people are noticing. So right now, Felix first serve percentage is still 50%. So Felix's or Ruusuvuori's is 68%, which is pretty high. That's a huge difference and gives a huge advantage for Ruusuvuori right now when it comes to serving. So Felix is going to serve now, and I would love to see a few good first serves, a couple aces. We'll see. I don't know what's going on with that, why he can't get more consistency on it. Let us see. Felix coming in and a clean winner there. That's a better point from Felix. I think that was the first serve, just like we asked for. If you guys are new here, make sure you smash the like button. Helps out the channel a lot. Felix first serve, good return from Ruusuvuori. Again, right into good depth from Ruusuvuori, but misfires on a backhand there. Another good serve from Felix. He's going to want to keep that up. He's going to want to keep that rolling. It's getting late here in Canada. We're, this is still, I feel like, entry level, wading into the Australian Open coverage. Haven't had any super late nights yet. Latest night I had was actually watching the ATP Cup, where Felix and Chapo won, bringing Canada ATP Cup glory, which is amazing to see. I was up late then, but haven't had any late nights yet with the Australian Open. Second serve there from Felix, handled easily by Ruusuvuori. Felix dictating with forehand, now backhand, misses. It's weird. It just seems like, and it's true that Ruusuvuori is a more solid player from the baseline right now, and it's bothering Felix a lot. I'd love to see at least one serve and volley. I don't know if that's like fair to say because it's just not really part of his game right now, but like I'd love to see a change up, like if you're up 30 love like he just was, serve and volley, see what happens, come forward. If you get a first serve in, change it up a little bit. But as a top 9, as a top 10 player, you're thinking like, I don't want to change my game to suit because of what this guy's doing. I want to play my game, and it's better than his game. And there's sometimes, the ego can get in the way there of making a change because, that might be right. But right now, his game, he's at his like 110% level and you're at your like 80% level. So at that level, his game's better. So noticing that and knowing where your game is at is big for match management and kind of understanding where you're at and shot selection and all that jazz. Felix now, though, 2 game points to level it at 3-all in the third set. Felix comes forward and finishes the point with a smash. A couple confident games here, 3 games in a row. This is better for Felix. I feel like they're kind of getting back to a more level playing there. Viet Hai Lee says, go Felix. That's right. Go Felix. Go Felix. And for that, we will give a little, maybe a momentum booster for Felix, showing him, Felix, call me ATM. Ruusuvuori serving now. Felix, good return off a first serve. Ruusuvuori mashing a forehand. Another one. And another one. And another one. Until Felix shanks a backhand and Ruusuvuori gets the point. String saver. Takes the ball off the string saver. Can you guys still hear me all right?
Overpowering serving. The ball toss of Ruusuvuori in the serve, regardless of where the serve ends up, I'm not noticing any.
Ruusuvuori up 40 love now, cruising through this service game.
Possible to pick up on any type of pattern.
And Ruusuvuori holds 4-3 now. Ruusuvuori still cruising along, looking good for him.
We've all got something in our closet we can sell. Jeans you don't love, sneakers not your style anymore, jacket that's just
Well, Felix is still trying to problem solve, isn't he? Isn't he, folks?
Just take a photo, set your price, and turn your closet into cash. Download the free Poshmark app today.
Get double the Tim's Rewards points on your Tim's run. That's double on go-tos, on morning treats, on lunch cravings, and of course, double on double doubles, getting you to free faves faster with 2 times the points, only in the Tim's app.
What do you think, people? What do you think? Is Felix going to figure this out? We are over the 2-hour mark now. The match time is 1:58. 2-hour mark of the stream. Match time 1:59 now. Game is clipping along, and the first set was an hour. Second set was 25 minutes. Again, bagel time. Ruusuvuori gave out a solid bagel to Felix. And Felix didn't like that. I'll tell you that for free. Felix now serving. Looking to have another good service game. He's had a couple in a row here. We're on serve here in the third set. And so no need to panic yet for Felix fans, for Canadian fans. That looked like an ace, but was called wide by the line calling robots. I think that's fair to call them the line calling robots. I'm going to do the on and off, one earphone at a time. Second serve didn't come back. Felix trying to pump himself up. When he does that, he looks a little bit rigid. He looks a little bit not relaxed, right? I'd love to see him walk around with a little bit more swagger. Sometimes he looks a little bit uptight out there. Uptight. Is that fair to say? Uptight. feel like Novak, like Djokovic has that really nice kind of loose walk around. He feels loose when he's feeling good, when he's playing good, which unfortunately we aren't able to see because of a lot of political pandemic BS. Mark Johnson saying Felix can and will regroup for this set. I like that prediction, Mark. Strong prediction. You feel like he's going to pull it out. You know, the first set was close and he pulled it out. Potentially can happen again. Another shank though for Felix. He's probably shanked about 10 shots so far. Felix first serve in, doesn't come back. Again, Felix is going to like to see that. Felix first serve missed. Oh, we've got a Ruusuvuori fan in the comments. Go Ruusuvuori from Jarkko Sipilä. Are you Finnish? I'd love to see where you're tuning in from. Ruusuvuori goes long with the backhand there. The levels have definitely come back closer. In the second set, Ruusuvuori was here, Felix was here, but it's mainly Ruusuvuori just playing incredibly. And now they're a lot more on even terms, and we'll see. Looks like it's gonna be 4-4 here, and we'll see who holds their nerve better as this set nears its end. Liam McKay is asking, how's Felix looking? He's looking better. He's looking in a better position. Still not looking great. Cheering from Canada. Love to see that. Welcome to the Canadian tennis stream. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, because we're going to be doing more of these. As hopefully our tennis boys, our Canadian tennis brothers, move through the tournament, unlike Leila Annie did, unfortunately, earlier today in a pretty disappointing performance. Ruusuvuori again getting more depth and just incredible ability to slap that forehand and hit clean winners from. There was no angle in that last point. He was deep in the middle, and he just decided to end the point and just slaps it. It's just he's just playing with a great confidence in that forehand, and that's very impressive. Hugo back in the chat saying go Auger. Felix serving at game point again into the net. None of the Canadian serving performances have been stellar so far. You know, Shapovalov, if you guys remember yesterday, was about 50% the whole set, the whole match. Didn't help him there. He got through still. Felix is about the same today. Felix's second serve now into a rally, backhand to backhand. Ruusuvuori cross court Felix. Up the line from Ruusuvuori, forehand Felix. This is a pattern that is not having Felix get a lot of success right now. Backhand to backhand again now. Good backhand from Felix. Gets a forehand, but puts it into the net. We got a deuce here now. We've got a deuce, and yeah, in the backhand to backhand exchanges cross court, I'd say it's even. When it goes forehand, though, Ruusuvuori's forehand is a lot more lethal. It's a lot flatter. It's a lot more depth to the forehand, a lot of kind of gets more weight through the ball, and that's always been a way. Felix has a lot more spin on his forehand, but it's not as penetrating on these courts. And Ruusuvuori is doing serious damage. Felix can't, he's not placing his serves well right now. His first serves, not getting free points off them. It's not easy to play that way, especially against a cat like Ruusuvuori, who's a serious good player, as I said before this. Backhand from Felix missed. He's feeling that pressure. He doesn't want to let the ball go to his forehand, it looks like. Break point here for Ruusuvuori. This is a big, big point in the match. Come on, Felix. We need something. We need a serve. Let's go. We got Yarko. Great Finnish name. Cheering for Ruusuvuori. We got a bunch of the other Canadians in here cheering for FAA. Let's see if he can get out of this game. He's now facing down break point. Is he going to get a first serve in? That would be a no. Goes up the tee, misses about 2.5 feet long. Second serve for Felix. What's going to happen? Ooh, recalibrates on the toss. Never a good sign. Second serve coming, and up to the Ruusuvuori forehand. Gets a short forehand. Felix probably should have come forward, but hit a good forehand, and Ruusuvuori missed. Felix gets it back to deuce. Is it too? It's too early for the button for the Felix Stank Master button, isn't it? Commentators are saying, you know, maybe Ruusuvuori sensing the moment a little bit there. Wasn't his best on that. Kind of let Felix off the hook there a little bit. You think. Felix now with the first serve. Gets it in. Great return from Ruusuvuori though. Backhand cross court rally now. Forehand for Ruusuvuori. Pulls it wide. Has Felix on the run. Ooh, and then Ruusuvuori kind of hits a mishit forehand that falls in, and that throws Felix off because he's used to seeing these slapped perfect forehands. And then Felix misses. Felix just battling. He's battling himself and his opponent and the wind. Break points. Ruusuvuori is 4 for 6, converting at a high percentage. Off the top of my head, he's converting at 66.6%. Is that right? My math was apparently pretty good yesterday. We're in an 8-minute service game now here for Felix. Felix first serve in, but again, good serve from Ruusuvuori, but then he misses a backhand. Again, lets Felix off. Wow, we've got a bunch of Finnish fans in the crowd, it looks like. We got Sten saying, Anna Mena Emil. I'm going to guess that means let's go, Emil. Is that right? We got Pia saying, go, Emil, go. Love to see it. Canadians, where you at? Canadians, we got to see you're cheering for our guy. We got to deuce now. First serve for Felix. Great serve. Out wide. Doesn't come back from Emil. And Felix gives the little fist pump. Love to see it. Now he's got a game. Maddie, another Finnish person. It looks like that's the way. Go Rose Mountain. Is that his name? Is that his nickname? Rose Mountain. Ruusuvuori. Liam getting behind the Canadian. Another first serve for Felix. Now goes up the line. And goes up the line again. Ruusuvuori defending well. And then Felix just like misses the ball on the backhand. What the? Felix, wow, Ruusuvuori played some great defense there as Felix was mashing a couple forehands. And then Felix going so up the back of the ball, just kind of mishit it again. He's mishit about, I'd say, up to like 15 shots now in this match. Quite astounding. Liam, he's cheering for Canada. Let's see some Canadian emojis. You guys got those here? And there's an ace for Felix catching the outside of the line. He needs that. Needed it. Could have banked it. Hardest serve, apparently. 210 kilometers an hour. Ace for Felix. Welcome, Finnish crowd. Great to have you here. Let me try and find a Finland flag for the Finns. Might be hard. Big list of them here in the emoticons. I know what it looks like. Second serve here coming for Felix out of the corner of my eye. Emil goes up the line well. Felix gets to it. And then he goes up the line, but misses. But misses. We got the Finns. It's the Finns versus the Canadians. You love to see it. Back to deuce. Oh, I got it. First serve for Felix there. Ruusuvuori handles it well, and then Felix awkwardly gets it back. Comes forward. Great pass from Ruusuvuori, and Felix goes down, slips. Let's go with the racket. Probably left a bit of skin on the court there. Wow, Ruusuvuori's playing well. Just not enough angle. Maybe should have gone back behind Ruusuvuori, but still the right idea to come forward. Slipped, though, reaching for it. Hope he's okay. Young Felix now on the ropes again. Break point number 3. Needs a first serve here. Needs another free point. Things are just not going Felix's way. Wow. No, misses the first serve. Now it's the second serve coming. What's going to happen, people? What's going to happen? We got the Finns in the crowd and the Canadians. Oh, brutal double fault for Felix. Maybe feeling that the slip on his arm there. Looks like he went down pretty hard on it. Gets broken. Not good for Felix. Right now it's Finland time. Sten saying it's our game. This is the Canadian tennis stream. We can't let it be his game. Felix, we got to find something here to get a break back. Not looking good. Emil first serve in. Felix return into the net. If you guys are new here to the channel, even if you're not Canadian, if you're Finnish, hit the subscribe button. We got lots of great tennis coverage coming for you. Draw breakdowns, match previews, watch-alongs during the Australian Open. A shank, another shank from Felix out of the stadium almost. Tough scenes here for the Canadians. Felix is still bouncing around. He believes it's not over yet, this set. But if Felix is going to win it, this match, he's going to have to do it the hard way. Oh, my gosh. And Emil Ruusuvuori, just unconscious forehand tonight. Just slaps another one up the line. Incredible. Oh, that is just a thing of beauty. Emil Ruusuvuori, how do you do? He's got 3 set points here to go up 2-1. Wow. Felix starts to hit a nice forehand of his own. Ruusuvuori into the net. Felix gets one back. Snicker says, how many Canadians are at the AO? Well, that would be, there was 4. Now there's 3 because Leilani lost earlier today. So there's 3 left. That's including Felix, who is now officially losing this match. Still down 2 set points. First serve, and that's not coming back. Emil Ruusuvuori gets the 3rd set. Wow. Didn't see that coming. I can tell you that, but I did give credit to Ruusuvuori before the match. Great player. Now he's up 2-1. Felix is going to really have to find something that he hasn't had in these last 2 sets to come back. I'm going to take a quick break, go grab a quick snack, and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. All right, we're back, folks. We're back. Felix is on the ropes now, having to win the next 2 sets after taking a tumble and just seeing Ruusuvuori's incredible play. Felix is going to have to find something here. Comes forward there, gets the point. First point of the fourth set. Wow. We're in the fourth set. And yeah, if you are just popping in now, the reason that he's lost the last 2 sets, 6-0, 6-3, is mainly because Emil Ruusuvuori has been playing lights out. Massive forehand, feeling the ball extremely well, just doing everything right, basically. And Felix really hasn't been able to match it, which I don't think really anyone would, but he hasn't been able to make Ruusuvuori comfortable or change up what he's doing. But he has started to get more first serves in, which is a great sign for him. There we go. That's three points in a row for Felix we haven't seen in a while. What do you think, guys? Is Felix turning this around? Making first serves, he gets a hold early in this fourth set. I have a sneaky feeling Felix is coming back to win this in 5. And yes, we'll be up for it here in Canada. Quite amazing. Quite amazing. What we've seen from Ruusuvuori tonight. Won't lie, folks. Carlos says, I hope. He or she hopes. Carlos, I guess, probably a guy. He hopes Felix is going to turn it around. It's interesting because, sometimes Felix just comes out and he's playing really well, serving great, hitting the forehand, being able to be aggressive the whole time, and he's just too much for a lot of players. But his serve has not been great tonight. Again, around 50%. And if the serve's not great, that makes it a lot. It just takes away a lot of your advantage, right? Yeah, Emil Ruusuvuori first serve percentage 71, Felix 51. First serve win percentage is only 62% when Felix gets his first serve in. So it's not even doing that much damage when it does get in because Ruusuvuori is serving amazing. And both guys are well under 50% when they have a second serve. So yeah, it's just the biggest difference here is the first serve of Ruusuvuori being great. And then on the forehand wing, he's just overpowering Felix, which Felix does not like seeing that or feeling that, I suspect. Yeah, Ruusuvuori continuing to smash forehands and just really outplay Felix from the ground. Wow, Felix has a hand on his hip trying to figure out what he's got to do to get this man from Finland, Ruusuvuori, off his game. It's a tough ask right now, it looks. Felix now serving second serve, third game of the fourth set. And he throws in there a double fault. Not a good omen. Felix gets free point off the second serve, which he'll be happy to see. Commentators are just talking about how, if Ruusuvuori does win this match, it'll be a pretty big upset, but on paper, because the ranking disparity. But for some reason, Ruusuvuori hasn't been able to get his ranking up high, 90 in the world. Again, I think with the way he's hitting the ball today, he's playing like a top 10 player, honestly. But I don't know if he is a top 10 player at the moment, but seems like he's playing like it right now. And Felix, I wouldn't say is playing like his ranking is right now. So this is danger time. Felix he's got to be very careful here. I think if he gets broken again in this set, at least before he breaks Ruusuvuori, it could be lights out, start the bus, start the plane back to Canada. Unfortunately, I don't want to jinx him. I don't want to speak it into existence, but it's not looking good. Demantis asks, hey, how do the court speed and bounce look so far? To me, the courts look quick. It kind of look like a classic Australian Open. They look pretty fast. And then just like a regular hard court bounce, but pretty quick. I think the quickness might have bothered Leila Annie because I think she likes clay. She's comfortable on clay. I think she likes maybe a slower surface. I mean, her rhythm was just off all day today, so that was the main thing. But we'll see. Felix getting more definitely free points on his serve now, and that's helping him out, feeling a bit more comfortable. Michael, I didn't see your video. Which one on your channel? I don't know if you guys know, but as the moderator of this chat, I can put people on timeouts if you're being a bad commenter. Apparently, it's okay. It's a free speech forum here. Felix giving a fist pump, gets a hold there, trying to pump himself up, trying to get into it. Seems a bit forced right now. He seems to be he's reeling, right? He didn't expect to be down 2-1 in his first round at the Australian Open. Do you think Federer's best chance to win a final Grand Slam is at Wimbledon, or maybe on a fast Aussie Open court with low bounce like the one in 2017? I don't know. I think probably Wimbledon, but yeah, probably Wimbledon. If his body's fine coming back somehow at 41 years old, he's definitely got a chance. He had a chance last year because he didn't have his knee correct. Michael, I will check out what you sent there on Twitter. I haven't really expressed my thoughts or much on the case. I kind of know what happened. But I'd love to see your take. My opinion, Djokovic got a medical exemption from, is this right? Let me know. Djokovic got a medical exemption from the Victoria state government in order to play the Australian Open. When he got to the border, that was then canceled. His visa was canceled because they didn't recognize the exemption from the federal level. And then he got it back because his lawyers argued basically in court that due process by the border officials was not followed, and they rushed him basically. So then he got released and able to practice. And then the minister basically said, I'm going to cancel the visa again, basically for more of his opinion, rather of opinion about Djokovic's vaccine stance and all this. I don't think that he won based on the exemption. Is that not correct? So in my opinion, they kind of moved the goalpost from being you came in here with, you know, an invalid exemption to you're an anti-vaxxer and we can't have that in Australia. You being, which, you know, I get, I understand all that. But now that I've been talking about Djokovic, of course, Felix Auger-Aliassime has somehow pulled out 3 break points. I don't even know what happened. What just happened, folks? He's got 3 break point chances. The last one was an unforced error from Ruusuvuori into the net. Ruusuvuori's maybe coming off his pedestal of amazing play now, just in time for Felix to get back. First serve by Ruusuvuori, great return by Felix. Backhand slice. Maybe another backhand. Ruusuvuori goes up the line, rips a backhand winner. Just in case you were wondering, just rips another winner. He's up to 27 winners now on the day. Two more break points here for Felix to try and get the break. This could really help him relax and play better tennis. He's got to get this break. He can't give it to him. He just missed another backhand there long. So last break point chance right now, 30-40 for Ruusuvuori. Felix, I'm sure, getting impatient. I'm sure of it. Return from Felix. Backhand cross court off the first serve of Ruusuvuori. Slice backhand from Felix. I like that play. Forehand now. Felix ripping some forehands. Now coming forward. Another forehand. Clean winner from Felix. Gives a fist pump. Looks at his bench. And now it's time, folks, for a little bit of Felix Auger-Aliassime coming back, gets a break kind of out of nowhere, but nonetheless gets it done. And that's huge for him right now to stay alive mentally in this match and get off the ropes and maybe start throwing some of his own haymakers around. Maybe start being more aggressive, coming forward a bit more off his serve, maybe getting more of his first serves in. First serve percentage is still... Let's see what it is in set 4. His first serve percentage in set 4, Felix, is 73. So he's really stepped up his first serve percentage. And what do you know? He's now winning the set. Emil Ruusuvuori's was still 90% so far in this set. He's just playing great. Yarko's, he's seeing a little bit of the Felix flash come down the pipe. Ruusuvuori's losing a bit of the edge there in this set. Oh, but he's just hit another amazing backhand. Felix squash shots it back and then puts the next one into the net. Good aggression from Ruusuvuori, getting back a little lead in this Felix service game. Felix has got to step it up here. DeMurno rocking it at 2 a.m. East Coast Law. Are you still up? That's legendary, sir. Fair enough that you're watching the Felix, that you're watching the Murray match. Honestly, I could probably check in on that too. Michael, to answer your question, I'm on the West Coast. Felix with the big serve, follows it up, comes in the net, volley there. Ruusuvuori goes to pass and gets him after a good little exchange at the net. Now Ruusuvuori with 3 break point chances. You got to be kidding me. Wow, this is a topsy-turvy match with a lot of great tennis from Ruusuvuori, and now he's putting the pressure right back on Felix. That is a unreturned serve there from Felix. Again, will be super welcomed by him, obviously. Yeah, we got Murray and Basilashvili going at it. It is 2 sets up for Murray. Currently 5-4 on serve, 5-5 on serve. Now, Felix, another good first serve. Can he follow it up? Goes up the line. Ruusuvuori gets to it. Felix drop volley. Very, very well done. Very well done. He's got that nice little drop volley going. Where do I ski? I live on Vancouver Island, Michael Walker, and not really skiing anywhere right now. I surf a lot. That's my thing right now. I go surfing. I'm a surfer. Surfer and a tennis commentator. Deadly combination. Liam McKay saying, go Murray. Felix now saved 2 break points. Can he save the last one? Gets another first serve. Huge serve, skidding off the back of the line. Emil can't believe it. He's just like, no. He gets to look at it, though. It did skid off the line, and Felix has saved all 3 break points. Potentially another huge momentum booster for the young Canadian. Great to see Andy Murray playing well up in the match against a really good Basilashvili. That would be a great win for Andy Murray. Felix with another first serve, and it doesn't come back. What magic comes with making your first serve? That is just great stuff now from Felix, who's serving at 82% first serves in the 4th set. Incredibly high number. That's what happens. Digs himself out of a hole here. Can he finish it off? Game point to go 4-1. Just misses that first serve for an ace. Liam, no, I'm actually in Victoria. I surf around down here on the South Island. And Ruusuvuori misses. Felix holds to get back on track. 4-1. He's getting now the momentum starting to shift back to Felix potentially. The serve is really starting to work, and Felix's serve is more potent than Ruusuvuori's. So interesting turnaround here. We've got it looks like we might have a 5-setter on our hands. Second night of the Canadian tennis stream, we got a 5-setter. Not super shocking, to be fair. Asking about a winner, predicting a winner for this year's Open. Now, see, I haven't made a video yet breaking down the draw with Djokovic out of it. I've been thinking about that. I might do that tomorrow. What I'm thinking is that I've just got a feeling that Zverev is going to get his first one here. He's got a lucky break being on the top half of the draw. Djokovic not being able to play. And, even with Djokovic in it, Zverev was going to be a serious contender for the title. So we'll see. But I think Medvedev, Tsitsipas, or Nadal. Sorry, Medvedev, Zverev, or Nadal. Probably the top 3 guys. For Tsitsipas right now, we just got to see where his body's at. It'll be interesting. Once he really gets rolling, we'll see. I think he plays. Does he play his first round tonight? Let's see here. Tsitsipas, yeah, he plays Mikael Ymer later tonight. That's going to be a great match that I will be asleep for sure. Ruusuvuori now slapping forehands again on his serve. Dude, Murno, Tsitsipas at 5 a.m. You gotta, if you really want to watch the last match of the night, you gotta go to bed early, wake up early. That would be my call for the 5 a.m. match, for sure. 5 a.m. is not too bad. Ace there for Ruusuvuori. Where's all the Finns now? You know, Ruusuvuori's not winning. I don't see any Finns in the comments. Where are you guys at? 2-4. Felix to serve, up a break. Is he going to keep his momentum? He just dug himself out of a hole in the last service game. Hopefully he doesn't get in one again here. If you guys are just joining and you haven't yet, do us a favor here at the Slice and hit the like button and consider becoming a member of the channel. If you become a member of the channel, you get access to special emojis only for members and labels that you get beside your name, showing that one of them potentially I've heard is the golden goat. So obviously you want that. That's pretty sick. I wish I had the gold. I don't even think I have the gold. I don't even think I get those. And I'm the channel owner. How does that work? Anyways, thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. It's so awesome to be able to watch tennis with fans and cover the sport we love together. Also, check out the slicetennis.com. Great articles, great editorials published recently there on the slicetennis.com from Jamie Smith in England, looking into the whole Novak Djokovic situation before the final verdict was out there, but explaining how he became kind of the pawn of a political environment in Australia, let's say. $15 here in the 7th game of the match. Felix big first serve out wide. Ruusuvuori can't handle it. Felix now serving 30-15. Misses the first serve. Maxime Cressy and John Isner looks like they're in a 5th set. Wow. Scores from around the table. David Goffin and Dan Evans going at it, just starting. Oh. Wow. Great defense from there from Felix after another huge forehand from Ruusuvuori. That's right, Lady T. Felix does have a break. Just crazy. We got Nick Kyrgios versus Liam Brody coming up later tonight. That's blockbuster. I need Nick Kyrgios to win that match so that he can play Daniil Medvedev. I need that Daniil Medvedev Kyrgios match to happen because that would just be hilarious. Felix there gets another game, holds, gives a fist bump. 5-2 now. Feeling like Felix is definitely leveled with Ruusuvuori now with serve or with level. And Felix is going to be feeling good about that. One more game to go here for the set. This could actually be a pretty quicker fourth set to push a fifth if it keeps going the way that it's going. Mark's saying Russian is falling apart now. Who's the Russian? You mean Rusu? I don't know if do you think he's falling apart? I feel like Felix has just picked up his level. And yeah, maybe he's definitely probably dropped his level a bit. But we'll see. Finland people, where you at? Where you at? What's happening with your guy? What are you thinking, people? What are you thinking? If you're new here to the stream, thanks for hitting the like button. Our target is, let's get to 50. Can we get to 50? Where are we at right now? We're at 34. We need 16 more for 50. If we can get that, then that would be epic. Sten says he's taking a nap. What time is it in Finland right now? Let me know. Guys, if you sign up to be a member of the channel, you get this emoji. That's what we can offer here, is the golden goat emoji. I gotta say, it's pretty glorious, isn't it? In all of its glory there, the G goat. $9 a.m. That's a beautiful time to watch tennis. Assuming you guys have that on your work from home stations. Just keeping watch of the tennis while the work day is going on. I know that's how I do it when we got French Open Wimbledon happening. You guys are watching your guy Emil try and pull off the upset, but now he's up against it in the fourth set, looking like we're gonna go 5. Ooh, good return there from Felix on a great out wide serve. Now a little bit of frustration showing from Emil. Now that will be a good sign for Felix, and Felix looks a lot more zoned in now. He looks calmer. Obviously going to be feeling. Wow, we got someone from Sierra Leone. Good morning, Gerald. How is the morning over there in Africa? Ruusuvuori rips another forehand. Just another forehand. You know, how many winners is that in the match? 32. Almost doubling Felix as far as winners. Good morning. Welcome to the Canadian Tennis Stream, folks. If you guys are new here, this is the Canadian Tennis Stream. This is where we're keeping people updated on the Canadians as they play the Australian Open. We did not watch Leila Annie Fernandez earlier because I was hoping she would get through. I can only do one of these a day. And I got so much time in the day, and she just did not play her best, and she got kind of wiped off the court by a younger Australian, not even younger actually, but a wild card Australian who played very, very well. Inglis, that was quite amazing. So good for her. Real tough look for Fernandez after just announcing all these deals and all this pressure that, you know, she obviously has for herself and people have for her. So that was not great from Fernandez and a pretty big disappointment. I'm not holding an answer though. It's more like, you know, it's disappointing for her, obviously. So now Felix has the challenge of serving out the fourth set to bring it to a fifth. We're at 5-3 here. Is he going to do it, folks? I got a feeling he is. He's feeling his serve. Again, he's played very well in this fourth set as far as first serve percentages, 65%. Emil Ruusuvuori, 95% first serve in. Is that right? Or is there something wrong? I don't know what's going on. That is crazy. We'll see though. Felix, first serve into the net. Second serve coming. Good second serve from Felix. And a great backhand following it up. Pulls Ruusuvuori off the side of the court. Jarkko saying, Felix, don't do it. Don't break our hearts over here in Finland. Liam is saying, fifth and final set. Let's go. Let's go. That's out as well. Another missed return from Ruusuvuori as Felix rolls in a big second serve there. Now it's looking like Ruusuvuori is a little bit more frustrated than Felix is. And I think if Ruusuvuori loses this set, which he looks like he's going to, he's not super confident heading into the fifth. That level that he found there in the middle of this match is honestly some of the highest level I've seen from anyone I've watched recently. Just shows you how hard it is to be like, that's just another just easily slapped forehand winner. Shows you how hard it is to get up your ranking up in tennis, because you can play lights out world beating tennis like Ruusuvuori's played for a couple sets here. It's not guaranteed to get you a win, even a first round win at a major. So just shows how hard it is. Two set points here for Felix AUGER-ALIASSIME, who lands in another big first serve. Looking to close out this fourth set. Very good job from him to turn it around, to really kind of settle down and somehow get Ruusuvuori off his game, whether that's Felix doing or Ruusuvuori's own doing. I couldn't really tell in this, but big turnaround here from Felix. It's got to close it out still. First serve. And he seals it with an ace. That's how you do it. A little fist pump. We're going 5. Felix always knew it. And this is what we get for that from Felix. Wow, folks. Wow. Great work there from Felix. Let's do Mark Johnson saying Felix and Marino are going to bring it home tonight. Let's wrap up the fourth set there. Let's take a look at the stats. I'm going to share this. You guys can see this, yeah? So this is the fourth set stats. 2 aces for Felix. 64% first serve in from Felix. 78% win on those higher percentage win. And then if we go over there and scroll down, a lot of winners from Ruusuvuori, but a lot more unforced errors. 11 unforced errors, Ruusuvuori, only 4 for Felix. So Felix had 7 winners to 4 unforced errors. That's a tight set. That's a nice clean set there from Felix, which is exactly what he needed. So good for him. Ground stroke shots. Where were the winners had? Forehand winners. Backhand winners. Total winners. Yeah. Anyways, folks, what do you guys think? What do you guys see? Looks like Murray is heading to a 5th set as he loses the 4th to Bitsilishvili. Commentators are now. Here we got a comment from Passanage. The Canadian duo Felix and Chapo in full flow can beat any of the top 5 on a given day, except for Nadal on clay. Chapo in full flow is a treat to watch. Even Felix when he beat Fed and Halle. Agree? I'd agree. Yeah, they've proven that they can beat the top 5 guys. And I think when they're both playing their best, it's extremely hard to beat them. And yeah, like the good thing you just got to keep reminding yourself is they're 22 and 21. Like they're still just starting their careers. So what level is that going to get to when they're 25, 26, you know, really when they're hitting that athletic prime? Because their bodies are technically still like growing, right? Like it's crazy. So 5th set here now, Ruusuvuori versus Felix. It's been a good match. Almost 3 hours now. Can Ruusuvuori stay mentally in it and fight and keep the level up? Felix is playing pretty tight now. He's not giving a lot up, and Ruusuvuori looks like he's going to have to take it from him because Felix isn't going to give it up. Right on cue, Felix shanks another forehand like out of the stands. Not actually out of the stands, but that's just wildly shanked. He shanked so many balls today. It's just weird, but he's, you know, now he's right back in the match. So I don't know what to say, folks. I don't know what to say. Two unreturned serves from Ruusuvuori so far. Sorry about the yawning, folks. It is getting late for me. I wake up early every day. I wake up around 5:36. So staying up this late for a lot of people wouldn't be an issue, but I'm an early riser because we get after it. Ruusuvuori up 40 love to go up 1-0. Jarkko saying great start for the 5th. Great start for Finland, who is now 1-0. Does Ruusuvuori have any nicknames, Jarkko? That's what I want to know. In Finland, do they have any, like, you know, he's got a really long last name. Is there any short forms like that? Do they call him Mr. Roo Dog? You know, I would say there's about a 40, 50% full, probably actually more like 25% full crowd there watching this. This would just be such an awesome tennis match to watch live. Just such an awesome tennis match to watch live. But we're watching it here on the TSN feed. Felix big serve out wide. Ruusuvuori can't get it back in. Roo. People are liking Roo Dog. Not sure if that's actually shorter than Ruusuvuori. I guess it is Roo Dog. But Liam's asking, can Felix keep up the big serve? I know he can. The question is, will he? But the serve is definitely getting into position here, and that's a good thing for him, and that's causing definitely some concern for Ruusuvuori. Felix dictating with the forehand right now in this rally, getting the miss from Ruusuvuori. So Felix is really starting to roll through service games easily now. Looking good for him. Looking much better for him. Just a reminder, folks, that our French or our Australian Open coverage is brought to you by Top Court. Top Court is our partner. They provide amazing courses from the pros themselves who walk you through the drills that they do, the mentality that they kind of subscribe to, the different, what their training sessions look like, and they take you behind the scenes. And you can get a 14-day free trial by clicking this link here. I've watched Nick Kyrgios just had a course come out on Top Court that is now there. So you can go check that out. And with that link, you can get a free 14-day trial. So you're welcome. And thanks, guys, for supporting the Slice in any way that you can, whether that's becoming a member, just hitting the like button, subscribing. It's all super appreciated, helping us get the dream. Felix at net now. Oh, causing an error from Ruusuvuori, who is not happy. He's not. Some great defense there from Felix. Great court coverage from both guys. Both guys super athletes. DeMurno saying, would Ruusuvuori's fans be called the Ruusuvuori dogs? I was calling it Ruusuvuori the Roo dog. I don't know. We're just mucking about. Who would play after them on this court? Well, let me just provide that information to you. On this court, after this match, it's two American ladies, Danielle Collins and Dola Hyde. Emil Ruusuvuori serving now, feeling like what I feel is like there's more pressure on him than on Felix right now, even though Felix is the favorite to win and it feels like he should win. Felix, another shanked forehand on the return. Most of his shanks have come on the return, and that's where I've said before, you know, he can make improvements in his game on that side. And it's proving to be the case, I think. 30 love for Ruusuvuori now. Another serve on the line. Looks to be easing through this service game. Scotus is saying, let's go, Emil. Let's go. Murno saying, Basilashvili reminds me of Ferrer. Agree? It's not really what sticks out to me there. He's a bit bigger and stronger than Ferrer, I'd say, and less of a dog. Ferrer's pretty unique. I guess Ferrer's kind of like Leighton Hewitt in a way. Tennis, bud. Playing tennis up here on the prairies, bud. Oh, yeah, bud. We're in the Canadian tennis stream, bud. That's what we're doing. Thanks, guys, for joining us. It's just awesome. We have a bunch of Canadians and a bunch of Finns, people from Africa. It's international. The Canadian tennis stream is international, clearly. Ruusuvuori slapping. Both guys trading big baseline blows here. Ruusuvuori coming out of that exchange as the victor, getting the game 2-1 now, up in the fifth set. Liam says, just out for a rip, are you, bud? Ooh, yeah, mate. No one says made up here. Ooh, yeah, bud. Just out for a rip there. It's coming down to crunch time, folks. Getting more people coming into the stream. Welcome to the Canadian tennis stream. Like and subscribe. Our goal is 50. Where are we at with likes, folks? 37. Come on, folks. Hit that, smash that like button. Let's get to 50. That's the goal. That is the goal. You got to smash this like button because that helps us somehow get seen by more tennis fans. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? All right, Felix now to serve. Felix Auger-Aliassime, Feli, as some of them call him, FAA. Serving now. He's been playing well. He's been cruising. He's definitely had the upper hand in the last set and a half. So I'd say the momentum is slightly with him right now, but they're obviously tied in this match and currently on serve. Second serve coming from Felix. Return goes long for Ruusuvuori. His return is just not, obviously with Felix's increased service level, Ruusuvuori's returning hasn't been as on point, which makes total sense. Yarko is sensing a break. Is that what you're sensing, Yarko? I sense something else, actually, believe it or not. Oh, look at this. This little Stella here. The green is catching it. It's red. The Stella is even red. That's how much Canadian vibes we're getting on this stream. Felix into the net, 5-all. Feeling like he's leaning back on there. What are we feeling, guys? What's everyone's opinion on Felix's Adidas outfit? Some people were roasting them on Instagram, on social media that I saw, said they look like garbage. But I feel like actually in person, this looks really good on Felix. And, you know, I could potentially cop. Probably won't, but potentially. I actually like this better than the Nike shirt that Shapovalov was wearing yesterday. But I think some of the other Nike kits are pretty good. Double fault from Felix. Getting tight, getting a little tight. This is not great from Felix here in this game. And a little hole, little opportunity for Ruusuvuori. Excuse my yawns, people. I'm getting tired. We're getting tired, but we're nearing the end, obviously, of this. Felix's toss sometimes stays a little in front of him, it looks like, even on that first serve. Didn't look like he was flattening that one out, and he didn't have enough kick, and then it went into the net, especially on that second serve. I think that toss needs to get way more above his head to get more kick on it, more action, more safety. Ruusuvuori, little let court. Neutral rally here. Felix goes up the line. Ruusuvuori on the run. Another let court. Felix comes forward, goes up the line, and finishes it with the volley. Great rally there from Felix. 2 let courts from Ruusuvuori that doesn't bother Felix. Kind of looks like Felix was like giving a few weird hard breaths there. I don't know what was going on. Yeah, great technique on the volley there from Felix out in front of him. Cuts it off, not too much. Just let the ball do the work. First serve in for Felix. Now they're into a rally. And Ruusuvuori goes long with the forehand. game point now for Felix. Pasang Gamage. Who's got the better forehand, Felix or Ruusuvuori? What do you guys think? I think in this match, the forehand battle definitely has been won by Ruusuvuori. Just the beauty of the clean winners and the power he's getting on that flat through those first, second, and third sets was incredible. In general, I don't know whose forehand's better. Probably they're both pretty elite. I didn't think Ruusuvuori's was this good though, but it's very, very good. Felix sometimes I think doesn't hit through the ball enough on his forehand, but I think he just prefers a ton of spin and to have like a heavy topspin forehand. Like that, where it just can really rip off the court and he gets the job done there. Giving the little racket shake, the little fist pump. FAA looking like he's trudging along. Who's going to break first in this fifth set, people? Liam thinks Felix is breaking in the next game. I have a sneaky feeling, and I'm hoping that Felix does. As if you cannot tell, this is the Canadian tennis stream, and I don't have to be impartial here. Let's go Canada. Let's go Felix. It's sad though. I like Ruusuvuori as a player. I wish he didn't have to go out in the first round. Yeah, I mean, it's not over. Let's be real. But you know, it's a shame that both these two young prodigies have to play in the first round of the Australian Open. Ruusuvuori with a big first serve. Good return from Felix. Gets it deep off a kind of lob. Big forehand. Felix. Ooh, Felix is playing well now. Pushing Ruusuvuori around now. Ruusuvuori goes forehand into the net as he was backpedaling. Felix is now, see, this is what Felix needs to do. Felix is able to get now Ruusuvuori off of just slapping forehands from the middle of the court. This is better from Felix. He's getting more depth on his shots. Earlier in the match, his forehand was falling really short and was just exposing him to the Ruusuvuori wrath. The wrath of Rue. And another rally here. Another forehand missed into the net from Ruusuvuori. This is a opportunity from Felix. For Felix. Love 30 in this Ruusuvuori service game. This is an important moment. Ruusuvuori's got to be strong here. If he gives up the break, it might be the last thing. Got another guy from Finland, it looks like, possibly. Let's go, Emil and Finland. I'll give a Finland flag for that. Emil, another first serve, handled by Felix. And Emil comes forward and cuts off the potential pass with skill, puts the forehand volley away. He's still in a bit of a hole here. 15-30. I think Felix can smell a bit of blood in the water. Another forehand error by Ruusuvuori. It's coming down to crunch time now. 2 break point chances for Felix. I think Elvis meant Felix. This is a nervously close game. Where are we going for? 2 break point chances for Felix to maybe get a solid grip on this match. Second serve coming from Ruusuvuori. Felix looking ready for it, looking locked in. Is he going to do it? Felix with a great forehand return. Another good forehand deep. Ruusuvuori gets one deep. Backhand to backhand now cross court. Ruusuvuori goes up the line, defending well by Felix. And then a clean winner by Emil. Wow, great play there by by Ruusuvuori, who fends off one of the break points with some clutch tennis. Another winner. How many winners is that now? 35 winners. Amazing. The commentators are really loving Ruusuvuori's backhands down the line. And if you're watching this too, you should as well, because they are things of beauty. Another break point here. Ruusuvuori can't get a first serve in. Another second serve coming here. Felix, return on the line, now comes up in the court. Doesn't keep coming forward though. Forehand to forehand. Felix is pressuring. Up the line from Ruusuvuori. Felix slides into a defensive shot. Forehand into the net from Felix. Good play. Good defense from Ruusuvuori there. Felix had the opportunity to come forward and kind of rolled one in and didn't come. Wasn't super aggressive in that point. Deuce now. Now there's pressure a little bit on Felix if he doesn't get the break here. Coming into that next game, we all know how that goes. If you don't get the break, sometimes you get broken. It's like a phenomenon in how that happens so often, I think. There's a fly sitting on Ruusuvuori's shoulder. First serve in for Emil. But then he misses the next forehand wide. Leaning back, not always a problem, but there it was. Another break point for Felix. Third one. He's only 3 for 12 on break points tonight, whereas Ruusuvuori's 5 for 11. Is FAA going to do it? Good first serve from Emil. Guess is right. Oh my gosh. And Felix with the break. Felix guessed right when Emil came forward and just stayed put, and the ball came right back to him. That is a gut punch for Ruusuvuori, who is now down to Felix, who has come ahead. And you know what that means. Felix feeling himself, getting the break. Is that it? Is that it, folks? He's going to have to hold 3 more times, but that's great from Felix. Big turnaround, having to be very mature in this match to weather the Ruusuvuori storm. If you guys have just joined, thank you guys for joining the Canadian Tennis Stream. Hit the like button. That really helps out the channel. Consider subscribing, becoming a member of the channel to get customized special emojis that you can use to show your dominance in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Also, let us know where you're watching from. I'd love to know. It's a Canadian international stream. Canadians are loving it. Felix showing out. We're staying up for this. We're all staying up for this. It's not midnight yet. Maybe Felix will get it done before midnight. Probably be more like right around it. But 3 hour and 15 match. The average match time now for the Canadian tennis stream is like well over 3 hours. So that is classic. Here we go. Felix now to serve 3-2 to consolidate the break. Ooh, wow. Ruusuvuori hit a couple good forehands there, and then Felix just went up the line and hit a clean winner, the likes of which we haven't really seen much from him this match, hitting a clean winner. It's been more of Ruusuvuori doing that. I was just thinking about in that match, or in that point, now that Ruusuvuori's down a break, will he loosen up a bit and find more of that power that he was playing with earlier? Maybe. Local Por Alemania says hello from Germany. Hello from Canada to Germany. Sten Pago says we need this win more than Canada. That's probably true. The Finns do need this win. I do feel bad that it looks like one of these guys has to go out in the first round, and it's probably going to be Emil, because I think Emil should be top 50. I absolutely do. I can't believe he's still 90 in the world, especially after what we saw today. So What do you guys think? What if you're in Finland? What do you think is the year-end ranking for your guy Emil Ruusuvuori? Do you think he breaks the top 50 or no? Let me know. Backhand error there from Ruusuvuori now. Adam, you don't have to worry. Felix will definitely win a tournament. And I would put 100, 200, 300 bucks on him winning a tournament this year, 2022. It's coming. You don't got to worry. He's 21 years old. Mark Johnson says he's number 9 and he's feeling fine. Wow. Everyone give a clap for Mark. He's a poet and he probably knows it. I can't do the clap thing. Never mind. Another extended rally here. Felix really feeling his forehand well now. Great rally here. Backhand to backhand now. Ruusuvuori up the line. Wow. Just a super long rally here. Lines, all parts of the court covered. And eventually, wow. Eventually, Ruusuvuori misses and Felix signals to everyone. Puts his finger up. He's like, I'm the big dog out here. I'm the man. Last rally was 27 shots. Wow. That is that's a little, that shows where he's at right now. Felix he's in a bit of the driver's seat now. And that was a great rally. Wow. This has been a good match. This has been a very fun match to be a part of. Thank you guys for being here on the Canadian Tennis Stream. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already to the Slice. Felix trying to get some breath back after that super long rally. Felix getting something with the balls. Murray is in a 5-set match right now. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, they're on serve, but wow. Let's hope for Murray to pull through that rather than Bashilashvili. Wow, looks like Felix is, lost 2 in a row there. Hasn't really recovered from that point. That long point that he won. Sucking a bit of wind. 2 good returns from Ruusuvuori, though. I'll do that. Felix just got to see this game out. Keep steering the ship in the right direction. It's all going your way. Just missed the first serve there. It was a big one coming for Auger, for Feli, for FAA. Second serve. Ooh, second serve missed by Emil Ruusuvuori. He's not happy about that. Lets Felix off the hook there a bit. 4-2 Felix. Time's running out a little bit for Emil. What do you think, folks? I'm thinking possible break, another break here for Felix, and then finish this set out 6-2. Emil seems to be a bit frustrated at the way things are going right now. Understandably, he's missed too many balls here in this 5th set. See what the stats are for that. Unforced errors just in the 5th set. 1 second. Yeah, another one there from Emil. He's had 14 unforced errors in this set already. Emil Ruusuvuori to Felix's 4. So he's just hit Ruusuvori's levels dropped for sure, and Felix's has definitely increased when he needed it to. Oh, and then Ruusuvuori is really losing the plot now. He's tried to do a running forehand there and shanked it. Now he's in a hole. His I think girlfriend and coach are looking like it's ominous here. That's bad, Demuro. Wow. If Ruusuvuori doesn't win, I guess he couldn't finish. Wow, wow, wow. That's pretty good. Pretty good rhyme. I don't know how the Finns will feel about that. Another extended rally and another miss off the forehand by Ruusuvuori. So showing here in this match that his forehand, when it's on, is absolutely elite, world crushing, amazing forehand. But it can definitely fall apart and be a little bit of a liability. That's just what comes with playing with fire, I guess. Playing with a flat forehand like that can happen. 3 break points here for AUGER-ALIASSIME to pretty much seal the deal. Crushing forehand by Ruusuvuori. Felix doing a very good job at defending now, though, just smothering the court. Just refusing to miss, which is great. That's what he's needed to do. He's just settling into his defense now. Finally misses, but good rally. He did a lot of defending there, and that's a good level. Apparently the Andy Murray house is packed. It's 4-all in the Andy Murray 5th set. Come on, Muzza. Get through it, buddy. Serve for Ruusuvuori. And Felix gets it back. And quickly smashed away by Emil Ruusuvuori, who hits another forehand winner. Just crazy. 36 winners up to so far. Another break point. 3rd break point for Felix. Emil to serve. Good first serve. Good return. Felix hitting big from the back of the court. So is Emil, though. Both guys smashing the ball. And then Felix goes long, gets it to deuce. Emil gets out of here. You want to break if you have 3 break points, Felix. Don't let him hang around. Now we're at deuce. Emil is still, you got to think, Emil's, it's the 5th set. So he's only down 1 break. It's definitely not over. First serve in for Emil. Good return for Felix. Well handled by Emil. And that goes out from Felix. Game point now for Ruusuvuori, the big Roo. I have a feeling this might not be simple now, folks. It was looking very like it was basically over. Start the finish bus. But now, let's see. Ruusuvuori with a good serve, doesn't come back, and that is the game. He's still in it. He's still in it. Let's take a look at some other scores here. I'm going to take a look at this Murray game for a second. Murray has held now, so 5-4 Murray. Basilashvili serving to stay in the match. Good return from Murray there. 3 points from the match, Andy Murray is. Look at that. Would you look at that? Wow. Basilashvili's just missed another one there. Andy Murray's 2 points from the victory. This is now the Murray stream as well. Adam's asking who's going to win, Popperin or Rinderknech. Let's look at the score there. Let's look at the score. Where is that? What court's that on? TFO's playing on a way outside court. That's kind of... Hopefully you can focus and get that done. Felix sprays the backhand. It's a backhand error. Trying to find this match. Popperin. Oh, Ozzy. Obviously, he's on court 3 there. I like Popperin, but Rinderknech has been playing very well. Liam McKay, 1 more point for Andy Murray. It's match point. Triple match point. Great serve there from Felix. Doesn't come back. Needs a few more of those in this game to put it to bed, doesn't he? Ooh, Felix on the line. Rips another forehand. Both guys hitting forehands down the middle. And Ruusuvuori just missing with the backhand. Murray's already let 2 match points go on the return against Basilashvili. Basilashvili, as I call him, after the allegations that are out there against him. Basilashvili. Now I'm watching 2 matches. We got Murray receiving another match point. Second serve coming there. Felix causing another error from Ruusuvuori, who's just he's not on his game anymore as he was clearly, which has got to be super frustrating for him. Murray returns Basilashvili's second serve. Basilashvili goes up the line. Backhand Murray. Into the net, and Murray has done it. He gives a fist pump to the crowd, to his box. He looks emotional, as always, Andy Murray. Wow, a Grand Slam match won. That is great for him. And that's a big serve for Felix as well, who is held. Andy Murray wins. He looks so relieved to win. That's great for old Andy Muzza. We appreciate that, Andy Murray. Good point. So Novak gone, Murray's like, hey, I'm a legend too. That's facts. He is a legend. Okay, Emil Ruusuvuori now serving to stay in the match. Oh. Felix just does not read these serves well because he just got hit by a ball. Returning is the land for opportunity for Felix. If he could become an elite returner. Little let court there from Emil. Yeah, and now into the net. Felix is really loosened up and is really just cracking the ball now. Just absolutely cracking the ball. Like, you guys should be cracking the like button. Supports the show. Appreciate it, guys. 3 more points for Felix to get over the line. Finally, just past the 3.5 hour mark in this match. Canadian tennis stream, man. It's a 3.5 hour commitment, it seems. will in round one for the two Canadian boys. 7 hours combined time on court, both getting the win. It seems. Oof. Ruusuvuori makes the overhand smash, barely. A little bit suspect. Okay, goal is 50 likes for this stream, guys. We are at 43. If you're watching this and you haven't clicked the like button, you got to jump on board. Let's get there. 43, the goal is 50. Ruusuvuori with a second serve here. With a second serve on the line. Felix handles it. Ruusuvuori goes up the line. Oh. Ruusuvuori hits a couple good forehands there. Thank you, Pasan. Thank you. Hello to India. Or, sorry, Sri Lanka. Appreciate you stopping in. Subscribe to not miss their future ones. Ruusuvuori with first serve, slaps a forehand, and slaps an. Oh, yeah, he's just letting it go into the net, though. But you can tell he's just kind of stands up there, just lets her rip, giving her a rip, bud. That's what he's doing. He's pulling a Canadian move and he's just going out for a rip. Going out for a rip there around the neighborhood. I think we got some people streaming in here from the Murray stream coming over to watch the old Canadian stream. And now that is good timing because we got a first match point for Felix Auger-Aliassime after 3.5 hours. 3 hours, 34 minutes to be exact. Felix is finally at the finish line. Is he going to do it? It's been a back and forth match with flashes of brilliance from both. Missed first serve for Ruusuvuori. Second serve coming. Return from Felix. Another backhand into the net, though. We are at deuce. It's not over yet, folks. We're at deuce here. I think this is 1573 arena, right? Yeah. Just about to cross over almost at 3.25 hours. Good serve from Ruusuvuori is not returned. We're getting love from India for Felix. That's awesome. Advantage for Ruusuvuori now after a good first serve there, as I said. Look at the stats there, guys. 38 winners, 64 unforced errors from Ruusuvuori, 23 winners from Auger-Aliassime, quite a few less unforced errors. Rally down the middle now. Felix moving up forward and pushes it a bit long. So he's going to have to serve it out. Felix is going to have to serve it out. And you know what? He's number 9 in the world. He's gotten there for a reason. He can do it. I've got belief that Felix is going to serve it out and move on to round 2. Now, who's going to play? Why don't I know that? Well, I got the draw right here. I could look at that, couldn't I, folks? I've got the draw right here in micro printing that they've done it. Oh, interesting second round. Not an easy second round for Felix either. He's going to play the winner of Alex Bolt and Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina is a dangerous man. Davidovich. Where's the score on that match right now? Where are they playing? Davidovich Fokina's won the first set 6-3. I expect him to come through that one. So that's a tough match for Felix as well, but super athletic match there. Geez, both those guys are absolute animals. So that'll be an awesome match to watch. Felix has to close this out first. Is he going to get any yips? Is he going to get the service yips? Is he going to feel any pressure? Nathan, I am not doing another match after this one. I am out for the night. Got to go to bed. Got to wake up. Potentially do the Shapovalov match tomorrow. Who's he playing? Oh, he plays Sun Wukong. Okay, Tom Nickvists saying, let's hope for Rusu Wonder. That's what they call him in Sweden. See, that's what I need to know. That's an ace there for Felix, though. That's an ace. Felix. That's an ace for Felix. 3 points from the match now after already not converting a match point. Misses the first serve. Second serve coming for Felix, wearing the Adidas here on the Canadian Tennis Stream. Backhand to backhand rally here, going up the line from Ruusuvuori, and a forehand miss from AUGER-ALIASSIME. 15-all. 15-all. Ruusuvuori is not done yet. Ruusu Wonder. Can he do it? Can he do something here? Ruusuvuori, Felix would pay a top dollar for a nice first serve here. Potentially a nice ace. That would be, that would sound good for him. First serve coming here. Just misses the ace outside on the tee. He went up the tee. Great second serve that gets away from Ruusuvuori. Good pace on that second serve from Felix. And that's an unreturned second serve, which is awesome for him right now. If you guys are new here, sorry to keep repeating it for the people who've been here the whole time. Smash the like button. We're 3 away from our goal of 50 likes for the stream. We're at 47. Now we're at 48. Come on, 2 more people. Are you going to be the person that helps? Ooh, and there's another ace for Felix. Just pipes it. Finally finding his serve there. That's a thing of beauty. And now he's got 2 match points on his own serve. Is he going to put this one to bed for good? Will he? Felix Auger-Aliassime with the serve on his racket for a second round at the Australian Open. Another huge first serve comes back, but put away clean winner by Felix. Pumped. Gives one chest pump. He's pumped. That's a tough battle in the first round. 2 guys show respect for each other. Emil, sad that he couldn't bring his top level all the way through that match, but Felix very relieved, looking to get through that match. Gives a big smile, gives that moneymaker smile for the crowd. That's why they call him ATM. Says, come on. Yeah, mentally strong performance from Felix. And that's that's what Gil Gross and I were talking about earlier, is his mental game. Has it gotten stronger? Yeah, clearly has, because he came back in a match like this where he really wasn't finding it. There was a time there in this match where he looked almost down and out. Like it looked like Ruusuvuori was just playing too good. And Felix found a way to get Ruusuvuori off his level and get his level up to where at the end it was like definitely that could have been a 3-set match if you were just tuning it in at the end there. But so that's strong mental game from Felix. I'm just gonna hang around for a bit to see if he does an interview. I don't know if he will. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? Thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks. Have a great night. Adam, my thoughts on Fernandez losing. I've already said them a couple times. It's super disappointing. I think the pressure probably got to her, but she's also 18 years old still, so it's her level's not necessarily just consistently going to be up high there. And she came up against a good opponent. Forget her name. Inglis played, young Australian, played very well, played way above her level as well. Felix giving love to the crowd as he does. What a legend. Doesn't look like he is going to do an interview. So I'm signing out from here, folks. Thank you guys for being a part of the Canadian tennis stream. Anything you can do to support the channel, just being here supports us. So I appreciate it. If you can click like on the video, make sure you subscribe, consider becoming a member. You can get little emojis that you can use that only you get. So thanks for being here, folks. We'll see you on the next Canadian stream. Hey, boys, we'll have a rip, bud. It'll be great. Tennis, eh? Great recovery. Thanks to the Finns. Yeah, shout out to the Finns. Tough one for your guy. Great play from him. He's going to be growing up the rankings for sure this year. Thanks for the good sport. I will not be streaming Marino. I got to go to bed. Bye, guys. I'll see y'all later on the next episode of the Canadian Tennis Stream. We'll see you soon.